Tom McMahon continues to pace the BSRTC field, but it wasn't without a fight at Knock Hill. Luke Kidsley is suddenly a favorite in the series, taking 2 of 4 races a week ago, and Snetterton is sure to only mix this grab bag of winners some more. Can Adam Shepard join the two at 3+ wins and cut into the McMahon lead? Hello and welcome to Pit Stop TV and the BSRTC Winter Series. It's round 6 of 9 at Snetterton. I'm Major Cardinale the 4th with JP Costa. JP, welcome to the BSRTC at Snetterton.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm so happy to be back. After 4 amazing races we had on Tuesday, I was counting the days to be back here. Obviously, a brand new challenge for some of these drivers. The touring cars with their front-wheel drive nature will prove interesting, I dare to say, on this not twisty, but very interesting and very fun race course.
I'd say it's a bit twisty. I don't think that's too far off. It is, of course, sitting at 3 miles in length. Snetterton named, well, the layouts at Snetterton named for their lengths. Snetterton 100 being a mile, Snetterton 300 being a mile. Of course, in the middle, you got Snetterton 200 at 2 miles. I think I just said Snetterton 300 is a mile. No, it's 3 miles in length. We can go ahead and take a look at the track map, then we'll get to the standings in just a moment. This is a look at Snetterton. Riches, of course, begins the lap. You got Montreal now. That was supposed to get fixed. That is now known as Wilson. Palmer there for turn number 3 kind of brings you, I think that's kind of your first introduction into the infield section properly. You got Agostini for turn 4. Hamilton, Augies, and Williams wrap things up and bring you back onto the Bentley straight. Brendel and Nelson are that really fast kind of chicane-feeling complex into the bomb hole for turn 11. Coram and Murray's wrap things up. That's just a quick way around here. The standings, though, JP, there's a lot to talk about with these guys. Tom McMahon, 4 wins in the season, but did not win at Knock Hill at all. Adam Shepard, 2 wins of the season, almost had wins last week, but did not get any wins. Luke Kidsley, though, sitting in 5th, has 2 extra wins from last week, now 3 on the season. That's second if you want to go by just wins alone. A lot of pro-ams mixing things up. I mean, there is a lot of blue in this top 20 as a whole, and even 3 amateur drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. The point standings is, well, interesting to say the least. Obviously, you mentioned Luke Kidsley won 2 out of 4 races last time out. He was absolutely flying on a league of his own. So he's definitely a guy that we need to keep an eye out for on these final few rounds of the season. Obviously, you mentioned a lot of blue. Nathan Davies, 3rd overall. That's a fantastic effort for him. Only 5 points behind the 2nd place, Adam Shepard. And obviously, when we look to the second part from 11th to 20th, only 2 pro drivers, which is really interesting to see. Obviously, Craig Schill, 1st place in the amateur class, Roger Morton and Ollie Ricks 2nd and 3rd respectively, but a lot of Pro-Am drivers mixing it in, which is really fun to see.
Yeah, I think car counts have changed. Not so much just dropped off, but changed. We've seen a few drivers kind of take a more of a part-time role, and that's changed these points up a lot. So really the core set of drivers are emerging, I think, in this top 20 and showing us exactly who we've got to contend with as we begin to think about crowning a champion in just a few weeks' time. Of course, we still have a few more races to go through even after today. You can see Silverstone National next week, Brands Hatch Grand Prix on February 17th, and Mount Panorama Circuit to wrap things up at the end of February. JP, I'm very much looking forward to it. We talked about it all season. We're excited to see how the rest of the season goes. We don't need to, worry too much about that. What's more important, I think, right now is qualifying is underway, and so far, I think there's some interesting numbers toward the top. Aaron Rose currently fastest, and Rob Baker sits in 2nd. Shane Piggott, one of the pro-ams rather, sits in 3rd.
A really good qualifying for him. Obviously, you mentioned 3rd overall, 1.2 seconds behind the leader. So Aaron Rose looks like he is the name that's flying in qualifying this time by. Hopefully that translates onto race pace. I'm pretty sure he will take a few wins this time out. But obviously a really good job from a lot of drivers. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pro-Am drivers in the top 10. Obviously Craig Schill as well, who just switched the camera on the overall top 10. A really good qualifying for him. And Andrew, from 7th to 10th, only 0.3 of a second. That's a really close field.
Yeah, it is actually. I'm glad you caught that. It's even pretty close beyond that. It seems like this is a bit more like what I expected on Tuesday even, where the front of the field is pretty split up. Aaron Rose and Rob Baker, they've got things figured out, and they're well ahead of their competitors so far. And then you get back into the midfield, and things are much closer between everybody else there. As you can see, Rob Baker work out of Murray's here. He might have a good lap on the way, actually. We are lapping just a little bit quicker than the Miatas, which means we should get 8 laps in each and every race. And look at that. Baker and Rose both went faster there, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Baker invalidated his lap.
He
on the
might have,
final
yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, he just went a little bit too wide and invalidated. The one who didn't was Aaron Rose. And look at Shane Piggott. Improved to second place overall. A really good lap from him. Hopefully he can still find some time. And, well, the field is getting closer and closer. And second, third place, still definitely not over that battle.
Yeah, it's interesting to be talking about battles in qualifying. That's what we've got. As I noticed, one driver going faster is Roger Morton as he works into riches now. James Neve has also just posted a good lap time. Neve is up to 4th. Here's a look at Roger Morton, one of the premier amateur drivers in the series. He sits 13th right now in qualifying. He's a second and a half back of the next driver ahead, though, and that is Ralph Cullinan, one of the new drivers. We don't know exactly if he's supposed to be a pro driver, but his number would indicate that he would be. Of course, in case you're new to BSR and how this kind of class structure works, well, at least in the ticker, you can pick out pro, pro-am, and amateur drivers by looking at the number. Numbers without a third digit in front of them, those are all pro numbers. You can also tell them by being the white number blocks, blue, and the 500 numbers. Those are pro-am, and the 900 yellow numbers are your amateur drivers, so kind of easy to pick that out once you know it. Nathan Davies is just getting onto the racetrack to begin one of his lap times. We'll see how he can do here in qualifying. And Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that him being obviously the pro-am leader, he'll definitely be one to keep an eye out for, especially if Shane Piggott, just a little bit further away in the point standing, but definitely, a lot can change. Still plenty of rounds for Shane to catch up to Nathan Davies.
And Davies finally got an overall win back at Daytona. I would have thought he would have gotten one or two at Knock Hill, and honestly, I think he easily could have, as Ollie Ricks now goes faster than Roger Morton. That puts Ricks in second in amateur. But Nathan Davies, I think, is absolutely capable of winning here today. It wasn't a great day for him on Tuesday with the Miatas, but we'll see how he fares here in qualifying and get an idea of how he's going to do in the touring cars here. That's Murray's, and he may not be on a timed lap just yet. That's an off track, certainly, I would think. But this may not be a flying lap just yet. We'll see if it is. It might have been. It wasn't too bad a lap time, a 158, but it's invalidated, it looks like. Or, like I said, it might not have been a flying lap. We'll see what he can do here.
Yeah, that lap time of 158 probably could have gotten, well, definitely would have gotten him at least in the top 5, dare I say. So the pace might be looking really good. Obviously, he only has 4 minutes to go, so maybe just 2 or 3 extra laps for him under his bag until the timer runs out. But obviously, this little bit of traffic ahead, Andrew, could cost him a few positions if he cannot navigate it smoothly, I dare say. Obviously, being behind someone and being slower at some sections will definitely cost you time.
If that lap time had been posted, it would have been good for 4th. And that is behind Aaron Rose on pole, Shane Piggott 2nd, Rob Baker 3rd. It would have been between Rob Baker and James Neve. So he is certainly working up there to his Pro-Am competition. That's the interesting thing, is we're used to these guys qualifying about 10th or so. That's not the case anymore in touring cars. Some of the Pro-Ams are looking more like pros as they get faster and faster.
Absolutely, these guys are mixing up. We might even have to delete the Pro-Am class.
Oh, that's not gonna do
it. That's gonna be contact, and that's gonna be his lap done and dusted. Might even have a little bit of suspension damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tried coming back to the pits and just tried to post another lap, but with the time 240, that just might be out of the question.
If there's no suspension damage, he can keep lapping and get around, and I think he'll be okay. Here's a look at Ollie Ricks, 13th so far on the board. Now, excuse me, if you notice that my voice is a little bit off today and that I have to clear my throat every once in a while, we're under the weather. Very much under the weather this afternoon, but we will work on through it as best as I can. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of an off day, but we're moving on anyways. Ralph Cullinan looking pretty good. I don't remember Ralph being in the race last week at Knock Hill, but I know that I've seen this livery before. I saw at least 1 or 2 of these kinds of liveries last week. Is it teammates? It's similar. It looks so similar to the Spyro car of Sir Alan Toon, who is currently 17th in qualifying.
Definitely looks very similar, if not identical. Just on a different car. It
looks so close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might be
I know
the
one
same
way to
livery,
compare.
actually.
I know one way to compare. If we go to onboard, we can go ahead and compare some of these design cues, and I mean that's They've got to be affiliated, right?
100%. That's just a different car. It has to be, right?
That is so close. See if we can...
Maybe just a few differences due to class differences, maybe?
That's Alan Toon. And that is Ralph Cullinan. They've got to be... Unless whoever painted their cars is going off of a real livery, and I don't know. I mean, they are so close. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ralph is one of the new drivers, sitting currently in the 10th spot. If he is a pro, that's pretty good for one of the pros. He does have orange wing mirror tips on that car, but I don't know if that means anything in this case. He doesn't have it. Yeah, he doesn't have any of the other BSRTC decals on that car, so I think they'll get with him about that. Oh, you know what? There's a Spyro decal on the side of that car, further down on the rocker panel, so that is definitely affiliated. There is a Spyro decal right below the word result there. You can kind of see it. So glad I noticed that. Andrew Littler, one of their other teammates, actually, it looks like, sitting as the slowest car to turn a lap so far, but hey, that's ahead of guys like Nathan Davies, Glenn Humberstone, Mark Johnson, Tom McMahon, Adam Shepard, Lee Holmes, who have not qualified just yet. Aaron Rose out here, does he get another lap in? He should complete this one. I think he's down the Bentley straight right here. And yes, he is. So he'll be able to complete this lap, but will it go any faster? That's the question, I suppose. Jason Morris has just gone faster. Goes up to 14th as Nathan Davies has finally posted a lap time. Goes up to 4th.
Yeah, Nathan Davies, so repeating that qualifying, I guess, the time that he nearly said, just a few tenths of a second slower. 4th place, really good qualifying for him, kinda 3 tenths behind Rob Baker, but 3 tenths ahead of James Neves, so might be on his own pace, at least on race number 1, so definitely we want to get a few positions, at least on the first few corners, if he can. We saw plenty of drivers doing that on Tuesday, and lap 1, Andrew, most of the times is one of the best opportunities to get some of those free positions after you start running your own pace.
Bit of information here from David Ayers, and David, certainly appreciate you out there. Telling us that they are all part of the Result Clothing, iRacing, Spyro, Result, Safeguard, Work Guard, all Result Clothing. That's kind of just a run-on sentence, but I get what he's going after. Basically just telling us that they're all part of the same team as a whole. And what's interesting is if Result Clothing and Spyro are under the same banner as Safeguard, Work Guard, does that mean that Roger Morton fits into that? Yeah, I mean, I see Result Clothing on that car. I had never put that together before. I had never noticed that. Interesting.
Yeah, me neither, 100%. That would be really interesting, actually. I guess you can kind of see some of those details in the livery. Obviously, this one is bright green and black, but you can kind of see...
The livery is totally different, but I mean, if you look on the back, it even says Result Clothing. We're learning things every day here. We're learning all these affiliations as we go on in the season, and this is good. This is good for us to learn. So qualifying continues. Roger Morton abandons a lap there. Nathan Davies, I think, is trying to finish one up. He's out of Murray's with a lot of draft help here from the 917. That is Jason Morris. And across the line, does he go any faster? Yes. That is good. Well, he does not get a position out of it, but he does go faster, which is good for the Pride anyways. Luke Kidsley wraps one up as well. No faster, I don't think. In fact, no, definitely was not faster. Roger Morton, the only other car on the racetrack. And that will do it then for qualifying. We are looking at 24 cars for today's race here at Snetterton. Well, today's racing, rather, at Snetterton. We thank you for joining us here at Pit Stop TV. Ooh. Gotta catch my breath, man. I haven't called a race under the weather in a long time, JP, but yeah, every time I do, it reminds me of how important quality of health is. I'm gonna be honest. In case you're wondering about potentially broadcasts coming up here at Pit Stop TV, here's a look at some of them throughout the rest of the week. Monday evening, we wrap things up with the BRP iRacing series at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway down in, well, Concord/Harrisburg, North Carolina. The track actually sits like literally feet away from the town line there. That wraps up a 14-race season. A lot of great storylines going on there, and I would certainly recommend tuning in for that. Even if you're brand new to the series, there's going to be a lot of drama on the line. Brandon Blank, the points leader, told us after this past race that he is not able to make that race, and therefore the drop week is going to settle the championship. We still have no clue who's going to win it. We also have, of course, BSR returning for next week, be it at Silverstone National for a couple of races. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for race number 1. Aaron Rose on pole, Shane Piggott second place, starting in the 3rd spot. So, and Shane Piggott, worth mentioning, that is properly good for a Pro-Am driver in getting the pole here. Rob Baker there in 3rd. Nathan Davies in 4th. These guys match up in 2nd for both of their classes. James Neve will start from 5th. Luke Kidsley in 6th. Nathaniel Goodman will start from the 7th position. And Carl Hardy will wrap up round number 4. Coming to you in round number 5, it is the 5.57 of Michael Seal and the 5.75 of Jamie Goodall.
11th place will go the way of Ralph Cullingham in the number 13 car. The 982 of Craig Show is going to be starting on his outside in 12th place. 13th place will go to Sam Smith in his 525 machine. The number 917 of Jason Morris will start in 14th place. Row number 8 will go the way of Ollie Ricks on the inside, and on his outside, Roger Morton is 16th place. I'm going to let the rest of the field go by, Andrew, because, well, we're ready to start the race.
Oh, that's a jump from Aaron Rose.
That's going to cost him.
That'll be very detrimental. Green flag is out. We're racing at Snetterton. All 24 cars working to Wilson for the first time. Some side-by-sides further back in the field. Sir Alan Toon, caboose on the wall.
Looks like he's going to be suffering as well, but that false start, Andrew, I'm still shocked that happened to our pole sitter. That's going to be heartbreaking for him as we have the rest of the field. Looks like a few battles going side-by-side into turn 3. Looks like the rest of the field makes it safely. A few of those drivers that didn't qualify and still out there. As you can see now, the battle for the lead is definitely alive. That definitely is going to bring up the rest of the field really close together.
Through Agostini and into Hamilton. 3 wide there. Michael Seal and all of that. I think James Neve and Nathaniel Goodman as well in that battle. Oh, one car gets turned around. Was that Ralph Cullinan maybe? Yes, it is. Ralph Cullinan turned through Hamilton. And, oh, was that... I'm not sure who that was. They got spun off there with them. It was Ollie Ricks, rather. As Sam Smith has a problem, he's off. And Augies gets back on in Williams. That's a crazy way to wrap up just the infield section to lap number 1 for those guys. Into Brundle and Nelson for the first time. Shane Piggott, a Pro-Am, leads the way. Aaron Rose, after his false start, is now in 2nd. You can see Nathan Davies, Luke Kidsley in 3rd and 4th. Rob Baker in 5th.
That 2nd place from Aaron Rose will not hold. Definitely will have to come down into the pit lane to serve some sort of penalty. So we should have a 1-2 for Pro-Am class. That would be really interesting as we have a few extra battles. Looks like teammates following one another on the final few corners of the racetrack. Can you imagine, Andrew, how difficult it is to make that second to last corner on front-wheel drive cars?
I don't want to know. I'm glad I ran my practice laps here to learn the track, just to be more familiar with it in a Formula Renault, because I don't want to know. Now, Aaron Rose may not have to serve a penalty. He may have just barely skipped by the penalty system there as the field works by our speed shot. He may also be subject to a post-race penalty. It may not be a pit stop penalty for the number 8 car. But, of course, he could just serve it laps later. So we'll find out here in a few moments exactly if it penalizes him or not. So position changes further back. Teammates, in fact, working around each other. Carl Hardy passes Roger Morton. And, Sam Smith with more trouble back here in Wilson. Contact there with Ollie Ricks. Glenn Humberstone is behind.
Looks like even more contact. That car looks like it's a little bit of damage on the rear end, or might just be delivery. Oh, that's just delivery.
Damage.
Oh, it's damage as well. Oh, and that's going to be an off-track as well. So it looks like he's struggling a little bit from maybe front tire temperatures, because that's the second time we've seen him run off wide. Looks like he's going to be going off into turn 4 safely. And the number 525, Andrew, that's not the greatest of starts for him.
No, it is not. Yeah, that is definitely damage. Some more guys working things around here as Adam Shepard actually passes Roger Morton. Now gets in between a couple of safety colored cars. I already forgot. Safeguard, work guard. There we go. I'm going to keep that one in mind as we worked out in the Bentley straight for the second time today. Jamie Goodall and Nathaniel Goodman, they're pretty close. Couple of teammates here in the Lux Sim 24 cars. Goodall in the 575. Goodman in the 511. Couple of teammates there.
Yeah, really close between them. They're both chasing Michael, still trying to find a way past that Audi. One of the few left Audis we've had, Andrew.
Yeah.
That car might not be, well, I guess might not be in this safety territory, I guess you could say, on a field dominated by Hondas. Oh, and that's kind of drifting by Goodall. Looks like Adam Shepard is making his way past Carl Hardy as well, Tom McMahon as well. So both those drivers that didn't qualify already up into the top 10, and well, they're side by side.
Yeah, look at this stuff. Adam Shepard, Tom McMahon, side by side across the line. These two have been, oh, well, right there, contact on the front stretch. These two have not liked each other this season. They've been very close every step of the way, and we've seen multiple run-ins with these two. So as they work through the field here, yeah, I think this is only going to anger these drivers a bit more. There was contact again into Riches. Look how close they are there.
They're extremely close. They're door banging, mirror banging, whatever you want to call it. But the number 66, Tom McMahon, makes his way through the number 17. Adam trying to get the cutback on him, but couldn't really, so he's going to lose that position. Tom's going to go defensive into turn number 4, and looks like Adam might just have to conceal the yield that position for the time being.
Oh, Hardy! Oh,
that
my
was
gosh.
So close. I'm pretty sure Adam had to take avoiding action from that. Lost a little bit of time, but it's still pointing at the right direction.
Thankfully, there was no contact. Hardy did lose the position to Mark Johnston, but we continue on. This is the onboard now with Adam Shepard. And this is back here for the 9th position. There have been some position changes further ahead as Nathan Davies has dropped into 5th. That allows Rob Baker through, who now is going to have a chance to run down Luke Kidsley. And some problems further back. Oh, actually, yeah, Andrew Littler has just had a problem. The Spyro 999.
Oh, that's a big problem. That's race ending problem. That car is absolutely totaled. I'm not quite sure in which part of the circuit it is, but I'm gonna say it was in the infield section.
Yeah, it's Agostini here. I'm gonna look at it now. I wonder if he catches the grass into the braking zone. He just backed it. He just never had the corner made, and that even confuses our cameras a little bit. He just never really had the corner made at all.
Maybe a little bit of hardware failure, maybe a throttle stuck. Just kind
of
a
weird...
I mean,
he turns in for the corner as if he braked. I would think if the throttle stuck or something, he would have just gone straight. Yeah, he brakes. He just overestimated it, certainly, and that's a quick way to go right into the barrier and unfortunately end your race. Aaron Rose has taken over the race lead from Shane Piggott. That's one thing that we kind of missed at first, which is interesting. Because Aaron Rose, as we saw on the start, may have jumped the start of the race and may be subject to a penalty before the end of this one, so he may not be left with the race win. He may also, as I mentioned earlier, have just gotten away with it and, you know, not moved far enough off of his grid spot that it would give him a penalty, so he may keep this lead. And if so, that would be, I think, pretty big, because that would deny Luke Kidsley a chance, I think, at a win. I don't know that Luke Kidsley is going to catch him, but Luke Kidsley might catch Shane Piggott.
Absolutely. If he does not get a penalty, that would have been, I guess, he needs to buy a ticket, Andrew, for the lottery, because that was extremely lucky. We both kind of gasped, I guess you could say, on live when he, well, essentially moved forward. But, well, he has the pace to essentially pass everybody that he lost position on lap number 1 and pull away from them. So he's doing a fantastic job. And if he does win race number 1 without a penalty, it's very well deserved.
Other drivers working down the Bentley straight into Brundle now. This is actually a pretty orderly race. I know it was kind of chaotic that first lap, even the second lap, but this is very orderly now. Guys just kind of following each other around at this point. There's a good train of cars here. In fact, let's go to this on board. I think this will tell the story a bit better. Yes, this is off of Adam Shepard. You can see Tom McMahon just ahead. And in front of those two are Goodman and Goodall, still nose to tail, and even Michael Seal up the road in that red Audi. Not a whole lot going on, just following around him right now. And I wonder if, when we get to the end of this race, these guys might mix things up a bit more as Rob Baker goes purple. But right now, it's very orderly, interestingly.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these drivers may just be taking a little bit easier on race number 1, which is definitely interesting. Now we're gonna have a battle emerging because look at the run that Tom just got on Goodall. He's gonna go down the inside. Shepard trying to follow him, maybe. Yeah, that door is gonna be open. Nearly made contact with Tom, but both of them, essentially like teammates, Andrew, make their way past Goodall and get that position. Looks like Goodall and Shepard might still be battling though as they head into turn 3.
Aaron Rose has just disappeared from the race lead. I don't know if that was planned. We are to the point now where failing to observe a penalty would likely disqualify a car, yeah. So I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. He's run 3 laps since the start. I wonder if he was trying to plead his case with admins and they didn't clear it because it was an iRacing issued penalty. Now, this is all speculation. We don't know for sure. But it's very odd to see a driver drop out of the lead like that.
Absolutely, had absolutely no connection issues before, so yeah, it could just be disqualifying. The point that you brought up was absolutely perfect. Now we're gonna have another battle back here. Is this? That's not Craig Shield. That's Glenn Humberstone, isn't it? As you can see, a few drivers going into Nelson right here. One of the trickiest corners, definitely, on the whole racetrack. And there we go to the bomb hole, just kind of a dip up the hill, as you can see. And, well, they're nearly going side-by-side to turn 12 with front-wheel drive cars. I dare say this is one of the biggest challenges you're going to have, to go around the outside, finding the grip with that front-wheel drive. Looks like they stay orderly through the last corner. And, well, looks like everybody's going to stick position for the time being. 3 Hondas and a Hyundai on this battle. Really interesting to see.
And we learned last week that blue 88 tech car is Lee Holmes, right here in front of James Neve. Shepard has gotten by Goodman, so that disposes of the 511 now. As those two continue to work their way up the order, you've seen the 66 and 17 just continuously work up the field. You watch the battle for 12th, 13th, and 14th, and even 15th, because Craig Schill is just behind these 3. And Craig Schill got that win at Daytona in the Miatas, I think kind of turned his season around momentarily, looked pretty good even in the touring cars at Daytona, and has had flashes of brilliance since. He was very aggressive. I forget if it was Miatas or touring cars last week. Do you recall? There was one point where he was very, very aggressive, and it very much surprised me.
Wasn't it on Tuesday where he just was a bit too aggressive, but it ended up firing back at him. He couldn't really get it into a rhythm of the race. Looks very smooth at the time being, which is definitely what you want when racing. You just want to be as smooth as possible because then you're not scrubbing off time, losing traction, overdriving the car. And so far in the season, Andrew, has worked brilliantly for him, over nearly 100 points ahead of his closest amateur competition, as Fiona Siddons trying to go around the number 9095 in the outside, nearly made contact. This is on the exit of Hamilton. Looks like they're going to go into turn 6 right now. And looks like she got the position. Does she? Oh, they're going to go side by side, nearly more contact. This is absolutely fantastic.
Ollie Ricks is putting up a big fight. These cars have been switching positions for the last few laps. And Humberstone is going to try and make it 3 wide. Now Fiona Siddons gets them both cleared, so it's going to be 2 wide here as Humberstone runs up the right side of Ollie Ricks. And Humberstone is a Pro-Am, stuck back here with 2 Am drivers that are just fighting tooth and nail now into Nelson. Right up on the curbs there for Fiona. And it looks like position gained there for the 927. Let's go back further up in the field. Rob Baker has actually caught Luke Kidsley. This could be a good little battle. This is for second.
Yeah, second place overall with 2 minutes 30 to go, just a few extra laps. This is a battle for the second place overall. Obviously, Shane Piggott 2 seconds up the road. It'll be interesting to see if the number 51, if he gets past Kidley, could he maybe catch up Shane with only 2 minutes? That would be an excellent challenge. But the first challenge that he has is getting past the number 88, who was dominant last week. Cannot really seem to find that pace tonight. But second place, Andrew, on the first race, I'm pretty sure he'll take it, but he'll have to battle for it.
Time will tell how this works out. Nathan Davies is a second back. And we've seen before where drivers start getting... Oh, contact there. Right around Augie's, was that? Yes, that was Augie's. Baker just kind of ran into the back of him there.
Yeah, Kidsley is going defensive on nearly each and every single corner, so may not be nearly as confident as Rob Baker, and that's, well,
And
that
I was just about to
battle.
mention that Nathan Davies was just about a second back, and if drivers get to battling, or we've seen it before, where the driver behind makes up a lot of time, that's exactly what's happened. Davies is on Rob Baker's rear end here into Nelson, and this is best case scenario for Shane Piggott ahead.
Yes, absolutely. They're battling. They're allowing the leader to go by, and obviously Nathan Davis is as well. Well, he's thinking these two just battling, keep going side by side because I'm catching up. Now, if the opportunity comes, we've seen this before as well, Andrew. Some of these drivers battling, and the third place car, well, he just drives on by them both.
Whoa!
Oh!
What a send there from Nathan Davies. Takes the position, but with a bit of contact there on exit as Rob Baker gave him a shot in the rear. This is not quite the white flag just yet. No, this is actually now the white flag presented by Whiplash Simcams. We'll see it in a moment. This is the white flag, and Rob Baker contact there with Nathan Davies. This is getting aggressive.
He's getting very aggressive. I'm not pretty sure if Rob is too happy with the move that Nathan Davis pulled out on the final corner, but looks like, well, he's going to have to work if he wants that third place back, the final step of the podium. That'll be really interesting. Obviously, Luke Hisley driving away, but this battle for third, Andrew, well, it's just going to be really, really good if Rob Baker can catch back up to Nathan Davis to maybe, just maybe, try and get that position back.
Well, that continues on. Here we go. Michael Seal just behind those guys, defending from Tom McMahon and Adam Shepard. This is down to Agostini. Shepard going to have to watch these two as McMahon thought about round the outside. Now tries to cross back up to the inside of Michael Seal. No dice just yet. There's a lot of great battles actually on this racetrack. There you go, the white flag presented by Whiplash Media Simcams as we go into Augie's.
Going to Augie's, you can see Tom really trying to find any way past that out. He may just go down the inside. No, not quite. He's going to wait for the opportunity, nearly making contact. But looks like on the exit, that Audi may just have the power. Obviously, Slipstream is very, very strong. As you can see, the battle for third place is definitely not over. Nathan Davies just edging out. Could we expect, Andrew, a similar move on the final corner from Rob Baker?
That's an interesting question. We can go ahead and watch here as they go through the bomb hole. It's a very, very interesting question. Rob Baker is a little ways back, quite a ways back through Coram, but you know what? Davies a bit wide, it's just way too far back. It's not going to happen. But up ahead, Shane Piggott's going to walk out of Murray's and take an overall race win as Shepard and McMahon battle with Seal across the line. It is the 527 with a race win.
That's going to be really good. That's his first overall race win. I'm pretty sure he's going to be ecstatic with that. Luke Hisley is going to finish off in second place ahead of Nathan Davies. Rob Baker, Michael Seal holds them both off, and Shepard got Tom right before, not right before the line, but on the final lap, so he's going to be in 6th place. Johnston is going to be finishing 8th, and Goodall 9th, Goodben in 10th. What a final lap we've had, Andrew, for so many reasons.
Really good stuff in these touring cars here. You know, we talked about it with even the Miatas. We weren't sure exactly how things were going to go at Snetterton, much like some unknowns at Knock Hill. This place is a good racetrack.
This is a fantastic racetrack. I was going to mention that we were really, really wrong when we brought up the track map prior to the broadcast. We said, well, might not be the best layout. Well, I completely take my words back. I want to drive this layout actually so much because these guys just make it so much fun.
One more car to come across the line. That is Sir Alan Toon finishing things up, which means we have to go ahead and take a look at our spinning wheel for the first time today. Same as what we had on Tuesday. Give it a spin, give it a whirl, see what we've got here for our first invert on the day. And it is going to not be full or 21. Is it going to be 21? Just over to 15. Just over to 15. So 15 cars get inverted. That's actually... Ooh. That'll be interesting. We'll see the results here in just one moment, but I like that. That's going to give us some interesting numbers here as we get ready for race number 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results from race number 1.
As we saw, Shane Piggott took the win, his first overall race victory. Luke Hisley is going to be finished off in 2nd place ahead of Nathan Davies. Rob Baker, the number 51, is going to be finished off in 4th place. Michael Seal in 5th place, running off the Pro-Am podium. Adam Shepard got Tom McMahon on the final lap, therefore he finishes in 6th place ahead of 7th place Tom McMahon. Mark Johnston in 8th place ahead of Jamie Goodall, and Nathaniel Goodben is going to finish off in 10th place.
Finishing 11th in all of this is Carl Hardy with Lee Holmes just behind. James Neef finishes 13th, Roger Morton 14th, and Craig Schill will get the invert. Finishing 15th will now begin race number 2 from the pole. Roger Morton will begin it from second. James Neve, Lee Holmes, and Carl Hardy will wrap up your top 5 as far as how we'll grade up here in a few moments. Jason Morris will start from finish 16th rather in this race and start from 16th, I suppose. Ralph Cullinan there in 17th. Sam Smith 18th, and it's Glenn Humberstone and Ollie Ricks wrapping up your top 20. Oh, also worth mentioning, I didn't mention it yet, Roger Morton gets your amateur win, actually. So that was a pretty close battle between Roger Morton and Craig Schill to the line. There was only a half second separating those two, and Roger gets the nod for the win.
Yeah, really close between those two. Fiona Seddon is going to be finishing off in 21st place, ahead of Sir Alan Toon in 22nd. Aaron Rose, as we mentioned, something happened 4 laps down in 23rd, and Andrew Littler is going to be finished off in 24th place.
So 24 cars. Hopefully that number continues throughout the day as we get ready then for races 2, 3, and 4. Of course, every week, every race day for these BSR guys. If you are new to the series, we have 4 15-minute races. That's the plan each and every time. I do want to look at the weather before we go here. For this race was 68 degrees in the air, 75 on the track. Pretty calm winds. So we'll see how that compares. I know we had similarly overcast skies in race 1 on Tuesday. We'll see if that changes here as we get ready for race number 2. But until then, stick on with us. We'll go into a quick intermission. I'll be right back to you in just a few moments with race number 2 from Snetterton. Welcome back to the virtual Snetterton circuit. Already a good day of racing, already some really good moments in race number one, and that's just race number one, JP. We've got a whole lot of racing left to go, and look at this. The sun matches the B-roll. How about that? We've actually got some sun and very few clouds in the sky. It looks like the B-roll. It also looks a lot like race number 2 from Tuesday, so very similar weather progression. Which is interesting. I think obviously we'll see some tire temps go a little bit higher in this race, as you see here. Track temp 103 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warm.
Yeah, that's a big jump from race number one. Race number one was 73 Fahrenheit. Now it's 104. So 31 degrees Fahrenheit. That's quite a big jump, and that's another challenge that the drivers will have to face. 15 drivers were inverted. Those they're going to be starting from 15th and up. Well, they're going to have 2 challenges, Andrew.
Well, yeah, if the track wasn't challenging enough, we can go ahead and look at it once more. It just adds to it. Of course, this place is, as Andy McEwen told us before, it's flat as a pancake. It is very, very flat. There isn't much elevation change. The most elevation change I think you get is in the bomb hole, where you suddenly kind of drop into a crater and come back up. That's it. Otherwise, it is very, very flat. And it's just kind of twisting around this old airfield used by the Royal Air Force and the United States Air Force in the World War II era. And yeah, I mean, it is just a flat racetrack. It has a flow, but it doesn't have a flow. I think a lot of the drivers might have different opinions in some ways, but from what I could tell, like certain corners they link really well together. I think once you learn where to check up for Brundle and Nelson, they fit together really nicely. Same with the bomb hole, Cora, Murray's. That end of the track feels nice. I think Rich's and Wilson are okay, but there are some corners that are very, very weird, and we've seen that, I think, with Palmer and Agostini, for example. Hamilton and Augies are fun, but they're quite interesting, especially in a battle scenario. So this track is just challenging, I think, in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I dare say that the most interesting corner might just be turn 7. You just kind of brake, turn in, but you have to keep turning in as it kind of just sharpens itself. You cannot run too wide. We've seen plenty of battles that makes it really interesting, makes a lot of interesting, especially when, well, the next corner is you lead up to the straightaway, the back straightaway. So it's a really interesting corner, provides some really interesting racing, and, well, I absolutely love it.
No matter where you're watching from or who you're pulling for today, we would certainly recommend that you follow along on social media. No live social media updates for BSR this season, but we do have plenty of social media updates for other series and just extra social media posts throughout the week that are a lot of fun to keep up with, and that we certainly recommend you doing so. Now, there was a bug fix that was released either yesterday or today. I didn't fire up ATVO yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty bad day, but when I went to fire up ATVO today, I noticed a bug fix that has allowed us to look at this. We have a grid for race number 2. We'll quickly go through it, or at least the top 15 or so. You can see Craig Schill, Roger Morton, and the rest of the way these guys kind of order out. Lee Holmes starts from 4th. Carl Hardy starts from just inside that top 5. Nathaniel Goodman there in 6th. Mark Johnson, the highest up of the pros, he'll start from 8th. Tom McMahon will roll off from 9th. That's through the top 10. Adam Shepard there in 10th. A little further back, you find guys like Michael Seal, Rob Baker, Nathan Davey starts from 13th, Luke Kidsley from 14th, and Shane Piggott will start all the way back here from the 15th position, JP.
And he's going to have a lot of work cut off for him. Jason Ward in 16th, Rolf Cullingham in 5th, 17th. Well, the rest of the field is going to go on by, and once again, Andrew, 5 red lights, 3 red lights, as we can say, lights are going to be off, and the race is underway.
One car in the grass already further back. That's one of the Puma cars. I believe that's Nathan Davies, as Luke Kidsley is actually ahead. Everybody works on through Wilson for the first time, a bit of contact, but most of the field gets on through nicely.
The field gets on through nicely. Looks like not a lot of contact, just a few puffs of dirt, but everybody keeps pointing in the same direction. Craig Schill looks like he's checking up on the field already, quite gapping second place by at least a second there, I'd say. And, well, he looks comfortable in the lead, Andrew. Obviously, some of those faster cars...
leading.
Oh, that's Roger Morton, so that's even, well, that's, I guess, even more incredible. So Roger Morton doing an excellent job on the first lap. And, well, if that gap keeps on going, as soon as the fast guys comes in, he should have a safe buffer.
And that is Roger Morton now in the race lead. Craig Schill's in second. James Neve is in third. Come around Augies for the first time. A bit more contact, just nose-to-tail contact. Nothing too crazy. Jason Morris is a little bit off pace, but gets back on it now. As we work down the Bentley straight for the first time. The field in order.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody well behaved, trying to make it through lap 1. And as you can see, this beautiful shot. I absolutely love this, Andrew. A wide camera showing the rest of the field. Everybody in the single line. They know how much time you can lose if you go side by side into these sequence. And contact saves it.
Rob Baker off the track catches it just barely. And he drops down to 14th position now with just Shane Piggott behind until you get back to the guys who did not get inverted. Aaron Rose is up into 16th position as Baker has a look here on Goodall. Through corner, now Baker has to be, I think, poised. He can't be too aggressive here. Obviously, you want to get those spots back as soon as you can. You've got to be careful in the way you do it. As he's back up into 13th spot. Roger Morton leads lap number 1 and takes us down to Riches for the first time in race 2.
He already has a 0.5 of a second gap. Craig Schill in second place. James Neve in third. As you can see, this battle is definitely alive. And, well, that gap is going to be shrinking. Andrew already down to 3/4 of a second. So, Craig looks like he's eager to get that lead. Hopefully sooner than later because he's going to have some of those faster cars. As you can see, Shepard already up into 6th place. So, he's doing a fantastic job as well. And this field looks very closer, much closer than race number 1, Andrew. Just like we saw in race number 2 on the Miatas. Quite well behaved on the first few laps.
Looks like Craig Schill might have a chance to close in here in Agostini. He closes in for sure as, a slide there from Roger Morton opens the door for the race lead. This will go down to Hamilton. As Craig Schill, does he have a chance there in Hamilton? No, Schill will wait. Craig is being very, very patient here with Roger Morton. I would have probably taken that chance into Hamilton, honestly, if I was him. As he now sits behind in Augies, and James Neve is behind. James Neve, currently your Pro-Am leader, but look at Carl Hardy joining in on the fight. The top 5 are all Am and Pro-Am right now, as Adam Shepard is the highest of your Pro drivers.
Yeah, those guys are doing a fantastic job. Those 3 Pro-Am drivers are going to be very close to one another, and they're going to start battling scenes. So Neve needs to get a move on because look at that. Hardy might just be looking to the inside, not quite. Just going to follow the number 556 for the time being. But, well, if Neve doesn't get past, well, Craig Schill, who just took a lot of curb, and it looks like Schill might... Did he get a slowdown? No, he's just going side by side with Roger Morton on the bomb hole. Might just be setting up another move. Not quite. Almost falls victim of James Neve on the inside of turn 12. Andrew, this is getting really, really fun.
Slowdown. No, he was going for a pass there for a moment through the bomb hole. And James Neve actually gets a great run out of Murray's, and Schill even gets some grass. This could be a pass before they get to turn 1. Neve going to look left, now maybe to the right, now maybe back to the left. Is Schill going to cover that up? No. James Neve has a chance here on the inside for Riches, and he takes it. And that is a position change there for second.
So Neve already moves himself up into second. Might have some payback. Look at Craig Schill going down the inside of turn number 2. Do they make contact? No, but looks like Neve is gonna have the outside line. He's gonna have a better run, and he will have the inside line into turn number 3 into Palmer and retains that second place for the time being. Craig can do nothing.
Oh,
but
Roger
watch.
Morton!
Oh!
Morton off the racetrack gives up the lead. Neve and Schill go by. Carl Hardy takes a spot as well. There's Nathaniel Goodban on through. Roger Morton just trying to find his place now in the field. Contact there with Mark Johnston. And oh, look at this behind him. Luke Kidsley, Michael Seal. They all have some trouble.
We're going almost going 4 wide, 3 wide at one stage there. But these guys are going insane. Andrew going that wide on the infield section. Bit of contact between those two. Who's going to come out on top? As you can see, even more drivers almost making contact bumper to bumper. This looks like a car park.
A lot of cars stacked up very suddenly here through the entire midfield from about 3rd on back. They're all just in one big group here with a separation of maybe a second in the middle. Craig Schill, Carl Hardy, they're side by side down the backstretch. Into Brundle. Hardy takes the spot. Schill backs off. Oh, Schill! Oh my goodness!
No.
Turns him sideways, takes the spot, but gets him sideways, now loses that spot right back to Adam Shepard. That was aggressive.
That was very aggressive. Even more aggressive, you can see there. Is that Johnston going down the inside of Goodman? Yes, he is. And, well, gets the position mid-corner. Beautiful move from him, utilizing that checkup that Goodman had to use from Craig Schill. So Johnston and Shepard are only 2 pro drivers. Oh, even more contact back here. Looks like Luke Kidsley got past Carl Hardy, and looks like Michael Seal is going to try to follow him.
Kidsley does get on by the 573. Michael Seal comes through. Tom McMahon sits back here in 10th as well. An opportunity to move up, but man, this has been a pretty crazy start to this race, certainly. There is a battle well further back that we want to document for a moment. It's kind of split up for the moment, but it was going on just a moment ago. If we can ever get it up on screen. Here we go. Sir Alan Soon and Andrew Littler were going at it as teammates, and they've kind of separated now as there's a little bit of damage there maybe to Littler's car, but they have finally sorted that out. There's also a battle with Jason Morris and Ollie Ricks back here. This is in the amateur class. And otherwise, I think these guys are mostly sorted out through the entirety of the field. We just have to look at those guys up front and wonder how they're going to space out, how they're going to sort all of this out.
Absolutely. Shepard closing in the gap lap after lap for James Neve, trying to get that lead. As you can see further back, these guys are going to go at it. This is Craig Schiller and Nathaniel Goodman. So these two are going to go at it. Different classes, Andrew, but I'm pretty sure they're going to battle like if they were in the same class, battling for even for the championship on the final lap to retain those positions.
This is lap 4 of an expected 8 in this race. Here's a few cars in a line. Seal, Hardy, and Davies as they work into Brundle.
As you can see, oh, the number 570, Carl Hardy nearly got a full back end from Nathan Davies right there. Oh, we have a car off, Andrew. That's Craig Schill. Did he get any contact? Did he get any help? Or just overran Nelson? Well, time will tell, but he's going to drop all the way down to 15th place. So not only losing the amateur lead, but also losing a lot of positions and a lot of valuable points that, well, he might just miss at the end of tonight's race.
Take a look back at it for Craig Schill. With the onboard shot into Brundle and Nelson. On his own here following Mark Johnston and just gets crossed up, and it's an easy way to go off the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Just carried way too much speed. The back end stepped out, trying to brake, and, well, utilized the same grip to turn the car. Did not really help him, and unfortunately he's going to be paying that mistake with a lot of positions, and, well, losing as well the lead of the amateur class, so that win could be out of the books for him. As you can see now, Michael Seal, he's giving away a position, looks like it, to Luke Kidsley. So I wonder if there was any contact between those two, and, well, just fair play for Michael Seal if that was the case. As you can see, even more battling just outside the top 10. Andrew, are we going 3 wide into Agostini? Not quite, but they were definitely thinking about it.
Oh, they're going to... Yeah, there we go. Aaron Rose turns Lee Holmes around.
Unfortunately for Lee, gets turned around. He's going to wait. Will he reverse? Yeah, he's trying to get out of the racing line.
That is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, but gets it through. Gets it back on to racing speed, but unfortunately in 21st place.
Yeah, well down the order now after that. And that was just Aaron Rose being a bit aggressive. Now Rose finds himself behind Nathan Davies, ahead of Shane Piggott, who just won a race overall. And well up ahead, here we go. Battle for the race win. Adam Shepard makes that one look easy.
Yeah, it just goes down the inside. Looks like Neve didn't want to battle too much to not lose a lot of time because he knows that Johnston as well is coming. He's on the lead of his class. The last thing he needs is to battle and lose a lot of time, and allowed the number 511 to catch up. But, well, Shepard did a fantastic job. Wow, looks like, oh, this is the number 51. He's way back. Looks like maybe even more contact after the exit of Nelson.
Jason Morris with a problem. A lot of issues, very suddenly. I wonder if those two are connected.
Yeah, maybe, because that was on the exit of Nelson as well, between Brundle and Nelson, so could be contact between those two. And, well, obviously the Pit Stop TV replay will give us that information. As you can see, the number 51, does he go down the inside, just carry too much speed?
Well, they aren't connected in the end, but this is on Jamie Goodall. Rob Baker goes up the inside of Brundle. And I think it's just going to go off, maybe? Oh, contact between those two. That explains the issue for Baker. And then what happens in the background with Jason Morris? That might have had contact with Ollie Riggs. That's worth looking at again. We'll see the overhead view here for Jason Morris. I don't think there's actually contact here, but it was right in front of Ollie Ricks.
As you can see, maybe just carrying too much speed. The car just kind of steps out on the front end, tries to save it, and Ollie gets kind of really lucky that the Honda Civic just carry on its momentum, its forward momentum. So unfortunately, just a self-inflicted mistake there.
Let's rejoin with our race leader now, as Adam Shepard has just under a second back to James Neve, leading the way in the final minutes of race number 2. Carl Hardy has a nice little battle back here, well back here with Shane Piggin and some others. In fact, Hardy's losing spots.
Yeah, well, did he get a slowdown? Looks like he's really slow. Maybe just a terrible exit out
Probably
of
not a
turn number 8.
Probably just got slow out of the corner.
Yeah. So yeah, just losing a lot of speed. And that's just, well, that's the bad part of having an absolutely massive straight, Andrew. If you just got a bad exit, you're going to be losing tons of time throughout that straightaway. As you can see, a couple of other cars battling. This is down into turn 12. Could we see a similar move as the one we saw on race number 1? Maybe just a dive down into turn 13. Not quite, but well, that one, well, we're definitely gonna have a battle into the main straightaway, into the center straight, and definitely into turn 1.
It'll be riches for these two. Who goes for the riches, as you could maybe say? McMahon up the inside of Goodman and takes that spot away easily. So now McMahon into 4th. He's got a ways up the road to go catch Mark Johnston. I don't think that's going to happen that quickly. Certainly not within a 2.5 minutes. Not without some outside influence on that. That would take at least some kind of mistake or some kind of incident or something. Shane Piggott, Roger Morton further back, 10th and 11th. I think Piggott just got that spot.
Piggott did not make a lot of overtakes this race so far. He's still in 10th place. He started 15th, obviously. Inside the overall top 10, I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with that. That's definitely going to help him in race number 3 with the invert. But yeah, in turn, well, 10th place. Aaron Rose, actually, Andrew, did a fantastic race. He's already up to the overall top 10 in 9th place.
Aaron Rose has done a pretty good job of recovering from whatever happened in race 1. Again, I'd imagine it was penalty driven there for the 8 car. And for the Luxem 24 Esports team. Sam Smith and Ollie Ricks going at it. Oh, Ollie Ricks is off of the racetrack there.
Very off, and he saves it beautifully. Gets the car really out of shape, but gets it back pointing in the right direction. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be losing a few positions. And, well, Lee Holmes actually benefited a lot from that, gaining 2 free positions.
Yeah, Lee has been pretty quiet today. Hopefully he turns things up in race 3 and 4. Goodall has a look here at Roger Morton, but no dice through Nelson that time. Sam Smith also quiet in this race. He just got, it's actually Jimmy Goodall gets put back by Carl Hardy. Rob Baker up the inside. Baker, after his issue where he went off a few corners ago, or a few laps ago in Nelson, has been very quiet, just trying to get some spots back. Now into 13th. I don't think he's gone up the order at all. Maybe 1 position or so since he had that problem. So this is where he's got to make some positions up.
Definitely already making a few positions up, trying to overtake Carl Hardy on the outside, trying to clear that Honda before turn number 1. Can he do it? Looks like not quite. Carl is definitely going to be putting up a fight. They make a little bit of contact. The 51 is pushed out wide. Might lose a position, goes defensive into turn number 2. And, well, might just have that inside line. Will definitely have that inside line. Oh, and contact. Really deep under braking. But gets that, well, stays with his position.
That's just touring car racing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So the white flag is out, presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. As we work around Hamilton here. Adam Shepard, your race leader.
Did a fantastic job while racing. Oh, look at this battle we have into Hamilton. That's Luke Kidsley and Nathaniel Goodman. So Luke couldn't really, well, get rid of the number 511 so far, gets that position, but this battle might definitely not be over until the end of the race, Andrew.
We'll see how things progress. Michael Seal, Aaron Rose, and Nathan Davies in a row here. Rose did just get by Davies in this last lap or so. About a lap or so ago, we said that Rose was 9th, now he's 8th. So he has moved up as Davies is going to have a look well to the inside here for Brundle. Wants that position back. Up the inside, now Nelson gives the way of Rose. Rose keeps it for now, but still some racing to go. Up ahead, Adam Shepard comes around Coram and into Murray's for the final time in race number 1, and it will finally be another win for the number 17 car. It's been a little while since he's been to victory lane. It's been since, I want to say, Daytona or even Spa, but it's another win for Adam Shepard at Snetterton.
That's going to be his 3rd win of the season. As you can see, Neve finishes in 2nd place, Johnston in 3rd, Tom McMahon in 4th place, Luke Kidsley just coming into your shot in 5th, Nathaniel Goodman in 6th, Michael Seal in 7th, Nathan Davies in 8th, no, Aaron Rose in 8th, Nathan Davies in 9th, Shane Piggott in 10th place. And that was a fun race, Andrew. I really liked that.
You know, we talk about Adam Shepard being quite good in this series. He has not won since Brands Hatch. It's Brands Indy, way back in round 2. Didn't win at Spa, Daytona, or Knock Hill. Finally gets another win today, and that, like you said, makes it 3. Joins Luke Kidsley there for 3 wins, and gets above that kind of 2-win mark that we had seen so many drivers sit at. Last few cars across the line, they are Sir Alan Toon and Andrew Littler. They had some great battles for the back. We couldn't really look at them just because of everything else going on in the rest of the field, but I will give that acknowledgement. Alan Toon and Andrew Littler, fantastic battles from what I could see. They were swapping positions every single lap, just about, as we will go ahead and fire up the spinny wheel one more time. Well, we have a couple more times even after this. One more time after this, rather, as here we go. The invert for race number 3, what will it be? It was 15 previously, and here it might be 11. It will be 11. That is a very small invert. And Rob Baker, who is fighting back through the field so feverishly, will miss the invert by 1 position.
Oh, that's going to be heartbreaking for him. If only it was 12, I'm pretty sure he would have been thanking. But obviously, as we mentioned, Adam Shepard won the race. He's going to be starting from 11th. James Neve in 2nd place, winning the Pro-Am class. Mark Johnston in 3rd place, ahead of Tom McMahon. Luke Kidsley in 5th place. Nathaniel Goodman in 6th. Michael Seal is going to be finishing 7th place, ahead of Aaron Rose. Nathan Davies is going to be finishing in 9th place, and Shane Piggott in 10th.
Finishing 11th and putting himself on pole for the next race, that's Roger Morton, who I think gets another amateur win as well. Yes, another amateur win for Roger Morton, 2 in a row. Looking good then in the points for him. Rob Baker 12th, Carl Hardy 13th, and it's Jamie Goodall, Ralph Cullinan, Craig Schill second place in amateur. Let's see, for positions as far as Pro-Am, this puts 1, 2, 3... Carl Hardy 4th, Goodall 5th, Lee Holmes 6th in class, Sam Smith 7th in class, and Glenn Humberstone 8th in class, with Ollie Ricks there in between. Ollie Ricks goes 3rd in amateur.
In 21st place, Fiona Siddons, unfortunately not the greatest of races for her. Jason Moore is going to be finishing 22nd. In that battle we saw mid-race, Andrew Allen Toon is going to come out atop, and Andrew Littler, unfortunately, is going to be finished up in 24th spot.
Well, that is race number 2, just like that. Did the weather change at all? No, not really. Still a very cool day as far as the air temp goes, but baking the track, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That is warm. That is some prolonged direct sunlight for quite some time. That is a really, really warm racetrack here at Snetterton. We hope you've enjoyed so far, and we hope you continue to enjoy the coverage throughout the day. A lot of places to follow along with Pit Stop TV, and we certainly recommend that you do so as we get ready for race number 3. An invert of 11 is on the way. That puts Roger Morton on pole. And we'll be right back to you in just a few moments after our quick intermission between races 2 and 3. Welcome back to the virtual Snetterton circuit. It's not quite as picturesque as it was, I think, in race number 2. It's not quite as aligned with the B-roll here, but it is a fantastic looking racing circuit here on the iRacing.com sim, and the work that iRacing has put in lately to update graphics to each and every one of these racetracks and just make the dynamic sky and dynamic weather look so great has really gone a long ways. This stuff looks great.
Absolutely, it looks amazing. Ever since I joined iRacing, I could tell that the graphics were improving because my PC was suffering each and every single time more, but, well, it's definitely for a good cause. You can tell that they put a lot of work, as you mentioned, Andrew, and, well, it just looks picturesque, doesn't it?
It really does, and being able to look across the racetrack and see these scenic shots of cars coming around these corners, it all looks really, really good. I just enjoy scenic shots of race cars in general, though, so these guys will work around and get some laps in. Excuse me, man. Today is rough, I'll tell you that much, as we get ready for race number 3. Roger Morton will join these guys from the pole here for this third race. And we will have 24 cars once again. I'm looking through here. There's somebody that is not in this race that was in the previous races, and I can't figure out who just yet. I'm sure it'll stand out to us here in a few moments, but let's go ahead and look through the grid just a little bit. And on row 1, again, you see Roger Morton, Shane Piggott there, your first row for race number 3. Nathan Davies, Aaron Rose. I think Michael Seal is notable there, starting in 5th. Certainly, you got to look at Luke Kidsley and Tom McMahon, 7th and 8th, and even Mark Johnston and James Neve there rounding out your top 10.
Adam Shepard in 11th place. Obviously, he won race number 2. Carl Hardy in 13th place. Outside of him, Jamie Goodall in the 575. 15th place to go the way of Ralph Cullingham. In 16th place, Craig Schill. Lee Holmes in 17th. Sam Smith 18th. Row number 10 will go the ways of Ollie Ricks and Glenn Humberstone.
A few cars here at the back, and that will wrap up your grid for race 3. Sir Alan Toon back there, Andrew Littler, and even Mark Oliver now joining the grid as we get ready to go. Green lights are already out. It happens that quickly here at Snetterton in the BSRTC. Green flag. Roger Morton leads us to Wilson for the second race in a row, but he's got competition. Shane Piggott up the inside, and Shane Piggott's going to have that position for the race lead.
He's going to have that position. Looks like the rest of the field making their way through turn 2. Everybody looks like makes it cleanly. Shane Piggott leads Roger Morton. As you can see, both of them were battling. The rest of the field goes on by. We saw Adam Shepard as well making a few moves down the inside of turn number 3. And, well, Andrew, as we head into the infield section, quite a lot of moves happening, but, oh, Roger Morton unfortunately falling down the order, already down into 4th place, but still cleanly.
The contact there, one car off. That's Nathaniel Goodman in the dirt. He's going to get back on the track. Michael Seal loses a position and gets it back. Maybe he's going to have a chance to here, battling with Tom McMahon. McMahon looking the best he's looked all day long.
McMahon already aggressive early on, trying to get to fill those early spots. Maybe, well, actually trying to go for those gaps as soon as they present themselves to get the track positions. As you can see, my fault victim of Michael Seal on this back straightaway, but looks like the rest of the field, Andrew, might be going too wide into Brundle and Nelson.
Through Brundle and Nelson for the first time as a group in race number 3. These guys figuring out their positions now through the bomb hole. Shane Piggott, Aaron Rose doing battle once again. Go back to race 1, and it was these two in order on lap 1, just the same. Aaron Rose jumped to the start, had to give up some time, and Shane Piggott took that lead over and led until Aaron Rose got it back, and eventually Rose dropped out of the race, we think, due to the penalties. Oh, Roger Morton, more trouble here out of Murray's. Shane Piggott went on to win race number 1, though. How do things change in race 3?
Absolutely. Maybe Aaron Rose looking for that way, looking for what could have been a race number 1, trying to get that spot back on track. He's looking very racy, Andrew. He might already be lining up or move down into turn 2. As you can see, Michael Seal trying to defend from Adam Shepard. As you can see, well, Aaron Rose just got the position down into turn 2, and with the pace that he has, Andrew. Oh,
Adam
looks
Shepard.
like yeah, he's wide. He definitely made a little bit of contact, and he's going to be losing a lot of positions.
Gets back on right behind Nathaniel Goodman, but that is for 18th. Mark Oliver and Glenn Humberstone with issues. Up on the jacks already in the pit lane. That's odd to see. You don't usually see a car straight to the pits like that. Let's go ahead and look back at that, though, for Adam Shepard, if we can. That was definitely a big problem for the 17 car. And there will be contact. We had kind of looked at this battle a little bit. It was difficult to do, though, with everything happening all at once. This is a look. Battle with Michael Seal comes over and gets punted there by Mark Johnston. I think Mark Johnston, a little bit late into the brakes, might not have liked the way that Shepard moved over in the braking zone as well. That's always a big risk. Let's go on board with Johnston for this and get one more look at it, then rejoin these guys live. This is Mark Johnston into turn 2. Shepard's going to move over right here.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a, hey, you moved over on me into the braking zone, I'm going to hit you anyways. Because when you move over like that, you're putting yourself at that risk.
Yeah, absolutely. You just, well, as you mentioned, put yourself at that risk. Obviously, you're at the mercy of the driver behind to maybe just brake a little bit early. And obviously, when you move just a few meters before the braking zone, you are, well, rolling the dice. And as you can see, the rest of the field, as you can see, a few drivers, one driver actually going for a move down into Brundle. Oh, and already challenger. Is this a replay? No, this is live.
This is a replay. That's top right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lee Holmes right there. Contact with the outside wall afterwards. Just gets loose, and Nelson, I had noticed that he was off pace. That's why we set that up there. He gets back on the racetrack. Now right behind, a couple of guys who just made some contact on the home stretch. Oh man, that's, you know what? I hate to bring up a replay one more time, but this was very close. This is well back in the field, and we're going to ride on board with Craig Schill to watch it all happen. Watch Ollie Ricks and Fiona Siddons right here. Fiona Siddons pops the curb, gets over into Ollie Ricks. Ollie comes back on, and Craig is going to go up the left side. Ollie Ricks comes over, just doesn't give him enough room.
And that could have ended very badly for both of them, but luckily good car control for both drivers allowed them to, well, keep their foot in it and keep pointing at the right direction. So race keeps on going for both of them, albeit with a tiny little bit of damage.
We finally get back to live picture. Piggott and McMahon nose to tail here. Again, this is the best we've seen the 66 car all day. I've not had a chance to look at the updated points so far, but if I had to guess, his lead has been cut into a good bit today.
Yeah, absolutely not the best first two races for him. Already going down the inside into turn number 4. No, this is the back straightaway. They're going into Brundle, and he's going to get the position. Shane Piggott not really fighting it. He knows that maybe it's just not his battle, just better to keep going at your pace. And now, Andrew, can Tom McMahon answer to the pace that Aaron Rose has put in all day long? That's going to be a really good question. That gap is 2 seconds now. It'll be interesting to come back to that in a couple of laps time to see if it has shrunk or it has increased.
So looking over the points, it's now a 123-point gap, and coming into today, it was 145. So it is already a 20-point change there. Shepard has dug into that gap a little bit, but if you're Adam Shepard, you've got to dig into it a whole lot more. We'll see how that changes throughout the day, and especially with Shepard being back there now in the 11th spot after a nice recovery drive already. It really is nice. He was just an 18th.
Yeah, his pace as well is absolutely fantastic. His racecraft is absolutely fantastic.
Oh,
Looks
no.
like we're going to have a driver dipping into the pit lane. Could this be a penalty already?
That's some damage. Look at the wheel.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Look at the wheel on the left side there. This is Nathan Davies. That car is all kinds of bent. Let's go further up. Lee Holmes, Fiona Siddons side by side. Ollie Ricks as well. A few amateur drivers back here, although Lee Holmes is a Pro-Am.
It's a fun little battle to take a look at. Fiona obviously on the inside now as they head into turn number 4. It looks like she's going to have to try to essentially clear herself. Yeah, there we go. Forces to the outside, nearly getting contact, hit from behind. Looks like it's going to be opening the door. This is a fun little battle. Fiona's going to retain that position for the time being. But Andrew, I'm pretty certain this is not going to be over so soon.
Oh, look at that. Ralph Cullinan right in front of these guys into Augie's, rather. Goes for a spin. And you're right, these battles are never over until they're over. Let's look further up in the field. Michael Steele and Mark Johnston side by side into Brundle. Now Nelson. Johnson on the inside, still on the outside. Contact. Oh, he tags Rob Baker. Rob Baker can't catch a break.
Oh, he cannot. Does he save it? Oh, nearly getting more contact with James Neve.
That was definitely some contact there. I don't know how Neve didn't crash out of that. On board here with Rob Baker now into Murray's.
Neve got a little bit loose on braking. That's definitely going to hinder his performance on exit. Rose goes even quicker than he did the lap before. But looks like Baker had to check up a little bit. Might not be close enough to line up a move into turn 1, but definitely will try to, well, outbrake himself into turn number 2 to get that inside line. But Neve goes really wide, and that's going to hurt his exit.
And then some, as we have a move here from Rob Baker now. Up the inside of James Neve, takes that spot away. That is good for 7th for Baker. That's a pass done and dusted then for the 51 car. Gets that spot, gets a nice little recovery drive going here. He was just battling with Michael Steele and Mark Johnston a lap ago. We'll see how that changes this lap.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be done in the 51. We'll definitely only be happy if he gets past Michael Steele as well. Michael's doing a great job today. I'm pretty sure we've always seen him in the top 10 or just close to the top 10. So a fantastic job for him so far in the day, bagging some really good points.
Steele comes into today 6th in the points. He's currently 7th, and that is mostly because of the massive swing in points from Shane Piggott, who has passed him up. You know what? Those two came in today separated by just 2 points. And looking at it now, after race 2, they were separated by 14. So that's definitely the big win for Shane Piggott. And Shane has just done fantastic today. Shane is up there in third right now. You can see a look at him here through the bomb hole. This 527 has been really, really good today.
Really consistent, really good, really fast, and he deserves the points as he has been getting as well. So, I mean, I guess I don't have even not a bad word, but I don't even have an asterisk to put on his name because his performance was just stellar so far.
Look back to that battle we were just watching. Rob Baker has gotten on by Michael Seal. I think that move came in Brundle and Nelson. Ralph Cullinan and Andrew Littler, a couple of teammates, relatively close. Cullinan had that spin a few laps ago, as we saw.
And that put him way back. He's in 20th place. He was battling for 15th. And unfortunately, that spot where just cost him 4 positions really quickly. Now, Alan Toon in 19th place. A better race than he had in race numbers 1 and 2. So if he can keep his car in this position so far, I'm pretty sure he should be happy with the result he has earned. And that was a car really wide on the exit of Murray's. But this battle right here, Andrew, this seems a lot of fun to keep focusing on.
This will be a battle with Sam Smith and Ollie Ricks. These are not in-class drivers. As you can see, Fiona Siddons and Craig Schill very close behind as well. Craig Schill going to have a look at Palmer's. Oh, contact there with Fiona. Everybody's okay. No harm, no foul. Alan Toon gives up a spot now to Ralph Cullinan. Sir Alan Toon playing very nicely there in Palmer. Gives that spot up without issue.
Yeah, probably thinking about the team game, allowing his teammate who is faster just, give him the opportunity maybe to battle the guys up front, maybe slow them down as well so he can have a chance at overtaking. So a really good team game for him, and now we're on board with the number 88, chasing down Shane Piggott. Can Shane just hold off into that last podium position with 3 minutes 30 to go? He definitely came under pressure from Aaron Rose and Tom McMahon. Can he hold off the pressure from the number 88 driver? And let's remember as well, Angel, last week, Luke Hidsley was absolutely flying on his car, so he definitely has a lot of pace. Did not translate as the pace, I guess did not have the same pace that he had last week, but this week he definitely has been really, really fast. So far, just 1 second off from the podium with 3 minutes to go. It's still all to play for.
Hidsley got 2 wins of his 3 on the season last week at Knock Hill. Joined Shepard, Harper. Elliott Harper won another race last week. So Elliott Harper and Luke Hidsley joined Adam Shepard and Tom McMahon last week as the only other drivers who had won multiple races this season in BSRTC. Shepard is here this week. Harper is not here this week, which I find interesting, but some really good company to be in there. If you've won multiple races this season, you're probably pretty darn good in a touring car. Here we go. Jamie Goodall and Adam Shepard. This is for 9th. This is for 10th.
Yeah, 10th place. Adam Shepard just got past Goodall, trying to get chased down Carl Hardy. And I'm not pretty sure if you missed it. Is this between turns 1 and 2? Because there was a car parked on the middle of the racetrack. I'm not quite sure if you spot that, Andrew. But that was a car just parked. I'm pretty sure it just crashed out right before Wilson.
This is actually a different point on the course. I think... Where the heck is this, actually? Oh, this is the bomb hole. This is in Decorum, it looks like. Andrew Littler with a problem in Quorum. Is it into Murray's? Yeah, I think it's into Murray's, actually, where he ends up having this issue. It absolutely is.
Oh.
I think just tried to downshift the car.
Yes, the back end just stepped out and face first. And
there was a car in turn 1? Oh, it might have been Humberstone right here.
Yeah, that was a car just parked between turns 1 and 2 when we were on board with Luke Hidsley. Couldn't really catch because of the speed of the car, but that was a car just parked on the middle of the racetrack.
Doesn't look like it was Humberstone. I'm not sure, but we'll go ahead and let that one be as it be. Excuse me. Aaron Rose is going to lead here now onto the final lap. The white flag presented by Whiplash Simcams. He's got a 2.5 second gap back. It's looking like a good day to beat Aaron Rose, at least here in race number 3. Looking back on the season, he's got a win already, and that came at race 1, at Spa. Oddly enough, that was the only race at Spa that we were able to have on broadcast. We haven't talked much about it, but the internet shut off that day here at pit stop HQ, if you will. We had power the rest of the day, just the internet decided it was not going to be cooperative the rest of the afternoon, and unfortunately, we had to settle for recaps later in the week, which hopefully you guys all saw those on social media and enjoyed. Those of you who are unsure of where those were, well, here we go. Social media links at the bottom of your screen. That's where you could have found all of those and can still go back and find all of those as Aaron Rose leads us around for the final time in race number 3. So where do you think he's going to sort out? Now, between races 3 and 4, JP, on Tuesday, you called the invert correctly. Call the invert this time.
Oh, you're not going to put me in the spot, but I'm going to say 15 once again. Either that or a full one. I'm going big. So unlucky for Aaron Rose if I'm right, because he definitely doesn't want that big of an invert, but he's doing a fantastic job so far, Andrew. He almost won race number 1. Somehow, well, for some odd reason, he just lost it. But, well, in race number 3, he's doing what he can. And, well, this battle is definitely not over.
Oh, yeah, that's
going to be contact.
Rob Baker through the grass, going to slide on, gets on in front of Mark Johnston, but that position will not stand, certainly. That'll be a slowdown for Baker.
Yeah,
oh, he's going to hit him.
Shot.
Oh, come on. That's silly.
And Johnson's going to be losing a lot of spots. How many? 1, 2, maybe 3. Look at this battle we're going to have for 6th place.
Johnston is furious as well. It is a checkered flag for Aaron Rose. We hate that we missed that for that reason, but it is a checkers for the 8 car. That was silly with Rob Baker. I'm sorry. I got to call a spade, and that was silly.
That was definitely odd. I'm not quite sure if he had the car under control, but does not feel right.
Sam Smith next across the line. He'll go for 15th. So it's Rose, McMahon, Piggott, Kidsley, and Neve, your top 5. Then you get to Johnston, and that's where the shenanigans started. He hung on to that spot very narrowly over Michael Steele and Adam Shepard. Rob Baker ends up in 9th. We'll see if that stands. Carl Hardy 10th. And everybody else comes across the line. Sir Alan Toon is next up. And it's Mark Oliver, and that will be the end of your lead lap cars and your eligible cars for the invert as well, as Nathan Davies ended up 3 laps down, Andrew Littler 3 laps down, and Glenn Humberstone 6 laps down. Where is Sir Alan Toon? There he is, coming out of Murray's now. He'll come across the line, wrap this race up, and Mark Oliver. Well, Mark Oliver is way back here in the bomb hole.
Still only a couple corners for him to finish, and then after that happens, the spinny wheel of fortune or misfortune for some drivers will be evoked. And Andrew, well, will my commentator's curse happen once again? As you mentioned on Tuesday, it did work. I'm kind of afraid it might actually.
Let's go ahead and check it out, see what we get here. Our final spin of the day. And who is going to start where? Is it going to be 17? It is going to be 17, which puts Craig Schill back on pole a second time today. We'll get the full rundown in a moment. In fact, we'll get the full rundown, at least unofficially, now.
So there you go. That's the confirmation that Aaron Rose won 2.6 seconds ahead of Tom McMahon. So similar pace for both drivers. Really interesting race we might have on our hands. Shane Piggott finishes in 3rd place. The winner for the Pro-Am driver, Luke Kidsley, in 4th place ahead of James Neve, 2nd place in the Pro-Am class. Mark Johnston is going to be finished off in 6th place ahead of Michael Seal. Adam Shepard in 8th place ahead of Rob Baker, and Carl Hardy in 10th place.
Finishing 11th in race number 3, you'll find Jamie Goodall on the 575, teammate Nathaniel Goodman close behind in 12th. It's Roger Morton in the 13th position, Lee Holmes 14th, Sam Smith, Ollie Ricks, Craig Schill wrap up 15th, 16th, and 17th. Craig Schill then, your pole sitter for race number 4. Ollie Ricks will start 2nd, Sam Smith 3rd, Lee Holmes 4th, Roger Morton 5th, Nathaniel Goodman 6th, and Jamie Goodall will start from 7th. Ralph Cullinan just misses out. Fiona Siddons and Alan Toon, they wrap up your top 20.
21st place goes the way of Mark Oliver, Andrew Littler, and Nathan Davies, both 3 laps down, and Glenn Humberstone, unfortunately, 24th place, 6 laps down.
Now, one thing I want to do before we wrap up coverage of race number 3 here is go back and get a look at what just happened. I want to give Rob Baker the benefit of the doubt, but I also want to get another look at things just to give him that benefit of the doubt. That was it was interesting to say the least, and we want to go back and give him a fair chance here, because that, it looked bad, but it may not have been so bad. Let's watch it all develop. This is out of turn 3. Rob Baker following Mark Johnston. Oh, and that's contact there. That's fair, though. I think that's fair.
Yes.
Didn't move him offline, just kind of hit him. Slow there through Hamilton. He looks to the left side for Augie's.
Now lining up to the Bentley straightaway, and this is where the run will come, and this is where things will start to happen.
This is where things get interesting. So Baker's going to look to the right side. This is Brundle, comes way over and just comes back across, and I mean,
I dare say he moved.
That looks very racing incident.
Yes, kind of moved into the racing line, and then this.
And then he comes over. He just
wide.
Whether it's intentional or not, he comes over and absolutely hits Mark Johnston off the circuit.
Luckily, Johnston was able. Oh, and just that rejoin was kind of tricky as well. Luckily, no other cars were involved. Michael Seal had to back off. Adam Shepard as well. That's Carl Hardy, if I'm not mistaken. And just a bit of contact amongst every driver. Oh, even more contact.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get in the business of making a judgment call there necessarily, but if it's intentional, it's intentional, right? If not, it's not. But we'll get one more look at it, I suppose. I think the biggest thing is right here in Brundle. This looks like a racing incident, and we can show you why. Where Rob goes way back out to the right side of the course, and Johnston
is just stuck
comes
on the
over for a
inside
moment,
line,
gets an arc, but he's still got position, and he's going to be squared up for an even run into the corner. I think it was maybe a foot off right there. If you want to contest that, I think that's fair to contest. It looks like a racing incident, but then definitely Rob Baker kind of comes over and takes him off the racetrack, as you would get a redundancy there of the white flag presented by Whiplash Simcams, and yeah, I mean, that contact there was pretty unfortunate. Mark Johnston, I don't know how he keeps this position though. Comes right on. He has to let Neve go on by, and then right in front of Michael Seal. This was lucky defense right here from Mark Johnston, but he hangs on to the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. That was good defense. That was quick thinking after all the action. Manages to hold the position. Only lost one. So I guess that's the best case scenario from that instant. But yeah, really good job from him. Unfortunately, obviously, the contact that happened. But, well, that was race number 3, Andrew.
Well, JP, before we close race 3 out, we do have a driver to go ahead and talk to, and he's headed your way. It's Craig Schill.
So, Craig, an interesting race for you so far. I'm going to let you sum up your first 3 races.
Hard work is the honest answer. I had a cracking race with Roger. He just knew where to put the car. I just couldn't get past it. I've got the pace. I've got plenty of pace. I just couldn't get the car past him.
How difficult, I'm glad you brought that point up. How difficult is it to line up a move on a track like this?
It's all right if you get good runs onto the straights that are here, and you can get in the toe, you can do. But normally, at the end of the straights, there's either a hairpin or a really tight right or left-hander, so you've got to do it on the brakes. So yeah, it is difficult. It's hard to get a move that you can do that you know isn't going to cause issues.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just hard. I like to pass cleanly rather than try half a move and take us both out. It was hard.
Fair enough. And obviously, you mentioned you won a battle with Roger Morton. He's your closest competitor on the championship itself. Obviously, you came into this race nearly 100 points ahead of him. How does it feel to be 100 points, but also you want to battle him? You know, what goes in your mind when you're battling someone like that?
We seem to be in sync. We seem to know where each other's going to put the car. So in some respects, it makes it quite enjoyable to have the battles rather than battling someone that is unpredictable. it's a lot. I must admit, I'm enjoying battling with him. I just don't like finishing behind him.
Absolutely, but I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna give us another great battle on race number 4. If I'm not mistaken, you're starting pole on the invert. So, well, hopefully we can talk to you in victory lane. It happened once. Well, I'm hoping it happens again.
So do I. I'm hoping I can nail the start this time, because if I can get the start right into turn 1, then I stand a chance.
Well, there you go. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. But with that being said, Craig, I'm going to let you focus for race number 4, and hopefully we can talk to you at the end of it.
Thank you very much.
So, Andrew, that was Craig's show, looking confident for race number 4, which is something that I really like to hear.
You always do like some confidence out of a driver. It's always promising. As we get ready for race number 4, we'll take a quick step aside, a very quick step aside, and be back to you with the 4th and final race on the day for round number 6 in BSRTC Winter Competition.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome back to the virtual Snetterton circuit. JP, it's been a good day of racing. It really has. I think a properly good day of racing. We've seen a couple of dramatic moments, and I think we've seen the good kind of drama. I know we kind of dog on some drivers sometimes. We kind of criticize them, but I think the big dramatic moments are always good for racing. It's good to see drivers get a bit emotional and fight like that, certainly.
Yeah, 100%. It brings out the human side, doesn't it? Sometimes, I guess, things that just happen, we just let emotions run out of control, but you know, it happens in real life racing. It's gonna happen here. It's bound to happen. And
watch.
And well, these drivers have put on a great show. Andrew, 3 races down, still 1 to go. This, well, has a recipe to be the best of them.
Yeah, I think certainly race 4 is primed to be a really, really good one. We'll see exactly how things break down. We're going to have a pretty good look at the way the track looks here. You can see we're in a nighttime. I think just about the same progression, both daytime, day-night progression and weather progression that we saw on Tuesday. And man, does it look cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather. There you go, 65 degrees in the air and overcast. You can kind of see the fog in the background even, and 65 degrees in the track. It's it's going to be a nice and cool race number 4 as we get ready for our 4th grid on the day.
Absolutely, the coolest the track has been on tonight's round, so that's
Is that
gonna
Chris
make it
Knox?
interesting. And Chris Knox, I was just gonna say we're gonna have Chris Knox on the race. This is just gonna make it so much better.
Yeah, Chris
Already.
Knox back in the field. Okay, we have not seen him in a while. Go ahead and get ready then. For...
And what a way to make an entrance as well.
Yeah, certainly. Let's go ahead and get ready for our 4th race of the day. And JP, I'll let you take the top 10 here of grid number 4.
Well, absolutely, it's going to be an honor. Obviously, Craig Shill, we just talked about, he's going to be pole position. Outside of him, Ali Ricks, 2 amateur drivers on the first row. In 3rd place, that'll go the way of, looks like, yeah, that's going to be Sam Smith in the 525 and the 535 of Lee Holmes in 4th place. 5th place will go to Roger Morton in the 992, the 511 of Nathaniel Goodman in 6th place. Row number 4 will go the ways of Jamie Goodall in the inside and outside. In 8th place, Carl Hardy. And obviously, row number 5 will be Rob Baker in the 51 and Adam Shepard in the 17.
I'll be quick with the rest here. 11th, it's Michael Seal. 12th is Mark Johnson. 13th is James Neve. 14th is Luke Kidsley. 15th is Shane Piggott. 16th is Tom McMahon. 17th is Aaron Rose. And that's as far as we're getting here. As you can see, Ralph Cullinan starting in the 18th spot. Here we go. Race number 4 on the way. Green flag is out. Craig Shill on pole. One car already in the grass. That is Nathaniel Goodman, I think. Oh, we already got a big crash here in the first corner. A lot. Look at James Neve way out there. A lot for us to look back here on the first lap once we get through a couple of corners.
Yeah, you can see a few drivers going 3 wide.
Oh, Shane Piggott's already out.
Oh, that's going to be unfortunate for him. He was in a good battle, not only in the championship, but also good race battles.
One car off. There you see is Lee Holmes. My goodness, what a start to this one. Chris Knox making moves into Agostini here.
Trying to make up a lot of places.
Ollie Ricks gets turned around. That was Nathaniel Goodman that turned him around. More contact.
Even
my
more
gosh.
contact in Agostini. A lot happening in race number 4. A few drivers are going to be thanking that for free positions. As you can see, a couple of drivers going side by side into Hamilton. Chris Knox making a lot of moves and already have a lot of places into lap 1, Andrew.
He's already in a 15th. He started 25th.
Oh, he's going to be happy with his lap 1.
We'll let lap 1 finish up, and then we'll get some replays here of this lap 1. This is going to be something here. Our leader's already into Brundle. Side by side there for 3rd as well. Rob Baker, Nathaniel Goodman. Rob Baker takes the spot. Shepard's going to shove Goodman out of the way. They fire through the bomb hole. 2, 3 at a time even.
Few extra drivers going side by side. This is just so beautiful to watch with those headlights. That sun is just a perfect day, a perfect race to end the day. As you can see, the rest of the field going. Oh, we have a car going really wide into turn 12. Couldn't really spot who that was, but the rest of the field, as you can see, already finishing up lap 1. And well, this is just one lap, Andrew. We still have 6 more to go.
Let's see if we can get a look back at some of what happened there to start this one off. That was definitely hectic into turn 1. We want to get a look at least some of it. This will be overhead. Let's go for the even wider one. So that's Roger Morton up the right side initially of Sam Smith and some others. And I think that's Goodman that drives off. It's one of the Lux cars anyways. And where's the first contact? It was Adam Shepard got into somebody, and what in the heck happened behind him?
Oh, my simple answer is going to be a lot of drivers looks like misjudged their braking spot, and it was essentially a bowling alley.
One of the Lux cars had a really bad start. James Neve goes on to pit exit to go by. There's Shane Piggott as well. And Piggott missed the braking marker. Gets into Neve. Carries, I think that's McMahon off of the course. Oh my gosh, that was McMahon. And this goes into Wilson here. Wide overhead. You can see all of the carnage, all of the side-by-side, all of the contact through the first couple of corners. There's some more that happens up here. Lee Holmes goes off of the course right about there after contact with Ollie Ricks. Just, wow.
Wow, indeed. That was a lap 1. We haven't seen that one today, but well, it happened in race number 4. The final spot, obviously, for an opportunity for some of these drivers to get extra points to essentially move up into the championship winning position.
Sam Smith.
Oh no.
Slow, I think,
Nelson.
in Augie's. No, that was Alden Nelson. You're right.
Yeah, into the bomb hole. Looks like he's going to be losing a lot of positions. He's already down into, looks like outside of the top 20. No,
14th.
Inside of the top, yeah, 14th. So he was in 6th place. We saw by the LED on the side of his car. So he lost a bunch of spots. As you can see, even more battles throughout the top 5. Rob Baker trying to extend his lead, but the number 17 is definitely chasing him down.
James Neef with a problem here. This is off at Murray's.
Oh, that's damage.
He'll try and get rejoined. Now, I do apologize for any sneezes or coughs. This has been a weird few days. Yeah. We'll just say that. I am sick.
That's Aaron Rose battling with Glenn Humberstone down into turn number 2. Looks like Aaron Rose maybe had contact as well, Andrew, because he was way further. That was on lap 1, right? Turn 1 incident. He was probably collected as well, but he makes his way already up into 17th, trying to make a comeback race. With 10 minutes to go, the field is quite spread out, but if one man has the pace to get them through it all, it's definitely Aaron Rose.
I think you're right there. Finally got a race win today in that previous race, in race number 3. Again, hadn't won since round 1 of Spa, or race 1 of Spa. So now joins the category as drivers that have won multiple races this season. It's a decently small group, actually. Just Tom McMahon at 4, Adam Shepard and Luke Kidsley at 3, Elliot Harper and now Aaron Rhodes at 2, and then everybody else who's won a race: Adam Watson, Yaroslav Sebula, Ben Sharp, Callum Garton, Nathan Davies, Mark Johnson, Michael Seal, Rob Baker, Shane Piggott. They've all only won one race so far this season. So yeah, very small company that has actually won multiple races as Rob Baker. Rob Baker could make it another driver that's won 2 races if he's able to hold this off over Adam Shepard.
Yeah, absolutely. He still has 9 minutes to go, and that gap is going to be, well, constant at 5, 6, 7 tenths of a second. So this is going to be an interesting battle to see if Adam, the number 17 driver, can get close. He's getting closer and closer. Obviously, that slipstream is going to help. So can Rob Baker after... Well, there you go. That's the answer. He can. Fastest lap of the race. He has to keep putting those lap times in, Andrew, if he wants to retain that lead.
And he's doing that with Adam Shepard so close to him. See, Shepard closes in there in turn 2. There are not many close gaps on this racetrack. That is easily one of the closest, although here is another as Lee Holmes gets passed up by Craig Schill. And Nathan Davies back in the race, back in the battles here. 7th place.
7th place for him. Really good job. He's definitely going to be wanting to pass
battle.
Lee Holmes for the lead of the Pro-Am class. Yeah. This is really, really interesting because a lot of drivers are involved in this. 4 drivers, actually, if they get close by. As you can see now, Lee Holmes made his way past Craig Schill. And now looks like Nathan Davies is going to be going down inside of Hamilton. That's going to be contact, and that's going to be Craig Schill losing one. Oh, he's pointing the wrong direction. Oh, that's going to be so unfortunate for him.
We just talked with Craig. Always wants to pass people cleanly, and, well, unfortunately... Oh! Right in front of Ollie Ricks. Unfortunately, he gets sent off the racetrack, and I wouldn't say that was unclean. I would say that was just, I think, some racing, unfortunately.
Yeah, racing. I'm pretty sure Craig just did not expect Nathan Davies to go down inside of Hamilton, but unfortunately he did, and, well, contact was made. As now, well, the battle for the lead of the Pro-Am class, Andrew, it's returned, and 4 drivers are in it. Yeah,
Lee Holmes, Nathan Davies, Nathaniel Goodman, Jamie Goodall, so... An 88 Tech car, a Puma car, and a couple of Lux Sim teammates there in Goodman and Goodall. Chris Knox into the top 10, where he started 25th in this race. He's up to 9th.
Insane. That's insane.
Last to first challenge. I don't know if it's going to be last to first, but certainly last to top 10 has gone easily for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, we noticed his entry by him, well, essentially going sideways. As you can see, now he's going to probably be losing a spot as Luke Hidsley is looking down his inside into turn 1. Luke's going to have that advantage. Is that Tom McMahon right behind him?
It is.
Yes, it is. So this is going to be a really fun battle to watch as these 3 big names go at it. As you can see now, Tom looking down the inside of Wilson. Chris Knox going to be giving him the space. Kind of gets shoved. So really good racing from him. Chris unfortunately has to yield those 2 positions outside of the top 10. So Andrew, that last to top 10 might not be so easy.
He's got a chance. Get back up there and get back after these guys. Although he's got to keep it on the racetrack as he goes off there in Palmer. Roger Morton just went off track a little bit, it looks like. Gets back on. Loses a spot to Nathan Davies. And is now just in front of Lee Holmes. So Roger Morton, has he won every amateur race today?
I think so, actually. And he's well on spot to win the race number 4 as well. His closest competitor is Ollie Ricks in 16th.
I wouldn't doubt that he's led them all so far. I gotta check. I think race 3 is one that I have not checked for him yet. Yeah, it looks like it.
And
wow,
what a day has been so far for him as well.
That's big for the points. I mean, he is... Let's see, he came into today, how far back was he? It was 100 points or so, wasn't it?
Yes, Craig Schill was 567 points down the leader. He was 660, so 93 points difference.
And now, unofficially anyways, it is... I gotta find it again. Let me just go this way. 73 points. So he's eaten into it a little bit.
Yeah, but this race definitely going to make a difference because of that contact that Craig Schill has. He's already down into 20th, so... Oh, as he gets a little bit out of shape on the final corner, he's going to be losing the position to Lee Holmes, Goodman, and probably Goodall as well. So from 5th place, he might just be down into 8th by the end of the straightaway.
Slides in behind Goodall and Goodman as they will side-by-side race until into turn 1. That's Riches there. Goodall gets the spot over Goodman. That's about that. Now our leaders very up front, way up front, for the actual lead here. They have distanced themselves just a little bit, 0.6 of a second, as Shepard trails Baker. And this is a run that Shepard needs, I think, in the points, given how race 3 went. He has got to at least finish where he is, if not win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely going to be trying for it. That gap was as low as 0.2 of a second once I looked. But unfortunately, it looks like Rob Baker either picked up the pace or Adam made a small mistake. Just like this one, small mistakes like that do end up costing you a few tenths of a second each and every single lap. So he has to keep those at a minimum if he wants to close that gap and have another chance to battle Rob Baker for the lead. Mark Johnston looks like he lost a bit, around 4.4 seconds, and then, well, just Nathan Davies and Lee Holmes. But this battle for the lead, Andrew, I don't think it's over.
Definitely not. We've seen battles go to the last few corners of these races many, many times before, and look at the way he closes into Brundle. Man. This could still be a really good battle for the race win, and time is ticking down. We're already down into the last 3.5 minutes. It's crazy how quick these races go by. Ralph Cullen and Sam Smith, they've got a nice little battle here. Through Brundle and Nelson they go. Cullinan now in the 15th spot, could get 14th from Sam Smith. I don't think Smith has lost any position since we noted his previous issues. So that's always good to stop the bleeding there as Ollie Ricks, however, goes around. That is out of Nelson.
Yeah, out of Nelson. He might just lose 2nd place in his class if Craig Schill passes him. That looks like did not pass, so that gap was absolutely big. Is he still in 16th? Trying to maybe clear the tires. I'm not pretty sure if the car got loose, but you saw the car swinging from left to right, so he's going to be rejoining the racetrack in turn number 12 cleanly now. And that looks like, Andrew, might have been just a self-inflicted wound.
Very possibly. He'll now drop to 18th position as these guys take over the battle for 16th. Humberstone and Neve, 521 and 556, couple of Pro-Am drivers. They roll through Riches as problems for well, Ollie Ricks has just had to pit, so that will give up that position. Craig Schill takes it over for 2nd in amateur as these guys work through Wilson.
Yeah, Neve just got past Glenn Humberstone down the inside of turn number 1. That was an interesting move. I'm pretty sure Humberstone just made a mistake mid-corner and just allowed. And, well, this battle is still very much alive. The gap keeps fluctuating, Andrew. So it's just a question of Baker is just faster at one part of the circuit and Shepard's faster at another part. That gap just keeps going up and down, up and down. But Shepard needs that gap to keep coming down, especially on parts like this, the massive straightaways. He can get the slipstream, maybe get a better exit, and just close in the gap. You can see how much that gap is closing. So I wonder, just maybe difference in setups, Andrew? Could that make so much difference on a straight line?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it could be. I actually don't know if the wings are adjustable in these cars. I haven't messed around with the setups enough. But if the wings are adjustable in these touring cars, that's a big adjustment difference there. And it could just be the way these cars are raked out. And, of course, we heard, as Shepard blinks out big time. Is he back? Oh, he is really lagging.
Yeah, definitely what he does.
He's going to have to back off big time. You can't race like that. He does back off quite a good bit. Looks like he's now solid. And this is the white flag presented by Whiplash Simcams.
Yeah, this is going to be his last opportunity to try to close that gap down. As you can see, he's much tighter into turn one. That's going to allow him to close at least 0.2 of a second. Looking down the inside, definitely too far away to make a move, but not
you say that.
I say that, and definitely not too far away. Definitely going to get into Rob Baker's head right now, because now Rob Baker's definitely going to have to, well, keep in mind, he's too far away, but, well, definitely might make a move. The gap is down to 0.2 of a second, 0.3. We could see a move down into Agostini.
Shepard is quite a ways back here. Oh, Baker covers up on the short move to the inside. Gives up a little bit of time. Baker didn't get a win last week at Knock Hill. Could he go one? Well, I guess 2 weeks in a row. Oh, that was off the racetrack for Shepard. This is your battle for the race win, both pro and overall. There you see it officially. The white flag presented by Whiplash Media Simcams. As we head back onto the Bentley straight.
That was a good exit for Rob Baker, and that's exactly what he needs. The gap is 0.4 of a second. If we might see a move from Adam Shepard, we'll definitely have to be on the final 2 corners of the straightaway. Obviously, Rob Baker now needs to get these 2 corners perfectly right. Brundle, look at how much Shepard is closing. He's going to go for the move.
But you know what? I think that's it. I don't think he can catch him in quorum. There's no way.
No, definitely not. 0.6 of a second. This part is nearly flat. So that may have just been the race-winning move, defending move from Baker.
Baker holds just enough in Nelson to keep the race lead over Shepard. Shepard tries to close in Murray's, but it's not nearly enough. And out of Murray's, Rob Baker does go back-to-back as far as winning at least one race in the last 2 rounds. Gets another win and joins the multi-win club here in BSRTC Winter Series competition. Other battles coming to the line. We've got Lee Holmes and Jamie Goodall. Tom McMahon's going to go for 7th. Luke Kidsley in 8th. Then it's Goodban and Knox in 10th. He does get the top 10 just barely over Aaron Rose. Roger Morton there for 12th. Carl Hardy will come across 13th. Cullinan in 14th. Smith in 15th.
That was a fun race. Neves is going to be finished off in 16th. ahead of Glenn Humberstone. Craig Schill in 18th. Unfortunately, that's going to be 2nd place in his class. So, battling for the lead. Unfortunately, that contact really set him back, and that's going to be costing a little bit in the championship. Oliver is going to be finishing 19th. Ollie Ricks, after his mistake, is going to be finishing 20th. Fiona Sidis in 21st place, ahead of Sir Alan Toon, Angel Littler, Michael Seal, and Shane Piggott. Only 2 drivers that didn't finish the race.
Littler will come across in just one moment, and yeah, Seal and Piggott with DNFs here. That is an interesting way to wrap up race 4 and ultimately round 6 of BSRTC Winter Series competition. Congratulations to Rob Baker and each of today's winners, really. Shane Piggott, Adam Shepard, Aaron Rose, and Rob Baker, each getting a win. And that will do it. All cars come across. Let's go ahead and bring up your unofficial race results.
So, for the unofficial race results, the number 51 Rob Baker gets the win after defending from a last lap effort from Adam Shepard, who finishes in 2nd place. Mark Johnson is going to be finishing 3rd place ahead of Nathan Davis, who's going to be winning the Pro-Am class, and then Lee Holmes and Jamie Goodall in 5th and 6th respectively. They round off the Pro-Am podium. Tom McMahon is going to be finishing off in 7th ahead of Luke Kidsley. Nathaniel Goodban is going to be finishing in 9th, just ahead of Chris Knox, who just beat Aaron Rose to the line for the top 10 spot.
Finishing 11th in race number 4 is Aaron Rose. Roger Morton there in 12th. Carl Hardy 13th. Ralph Cullen in 14th. Sam Smith, James Neve, Glenn Humberstone, then Craig Schill, Mark Oliver, and Ollie Ricks round out your top 20. I'm glad that Mark Oliver got on the racetrack today and got back out there even after missing the first couple of races.
Yeah, me too. I'm absolutely, well, happy for him. Fiona Siddons, as we mentioned, is going to be finishing in 21st place. Not the greatest race for her, Andrew. Unfortunately, this may have been her drop week so far, because I guess this could be the worst round that we've seen for the 927. Sir Alan Toon is going to be finished off in 22nd place ahead of Andrew Littler. And as we mentioned, Michael Seal and Shane Piggott are only 2 DNFs.
So 25 cars by the end of the day. Glad that we picked up a couple of them. I'm still not sure exactly who dropped out of the first couple of races. But anyways, excuse me. We do have at least one driver to talk to, which is better than we had on Tuesday, where nobody wanted to talk to us after the race. So drivers, if you're out there, you can still kind of pile in and get a couple of interviews. But we do have Adam Shepard, who goes second here in race number 4, and did win earlier in the day. Adam Shepard standing side by side.
So, Adam, I mean, I guess we could say it was a good day, but I want to hear from you. How would you rate your day of racing tonight?
It was okay. I think race 3 could have been a lot better. We had good pace and involved in a bit of an accident. So, yeah, that held us up. But yeah, generally pretty decent.
Obviously, when we look into race number 4, you were really close with Rob Baker throughout the race. How difficult is it to line up a move and essentially find that gap to overtake around Snetterton?
Yeah, it's hard in these cars to overtake. I had kind of about 2 or 3 attempts over Rob on a clear lap, so I could get on his bumper and then had to try and make a move and then drop back. So it is tricky to overtake, but it swings and roundabouts, the same for everyone.
And did you have anything done to the setup? You looked really streamlined, I guess you could say, on the straightaways. Your car just seemed to have more pace. Was it just down to slipstream, or was it something in your setup?
Rob was going in faster and out a bit slower, whereas I was slowing it up on the way in and powering out. So I think it was just a bit of driving style. He was quicker in places and I was quicker in places. Noticeably on the brakes onto the back straight, he was a lot deeper and took a tenth or 2 out of me, and then I gained that on the way out. So I think it's just swings and roundabouts there.
Fair enough. And obviously, when we look towards next week, obviously the race is going to be at Silverstone National. How confident are you when, well, we look to that round?
To be honest, I hate that circuit. There's nothing to it. So I think it's going to be very hard to overtake. It's going to be tight and everyone's going to be close. So just have to try and stay clean and see what we can do.
Oh, absolutely. And with that being said, hopefully I can talk to you next week. And, well, that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, chat to you soon.
But before I let you go, just who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out for your results tonight?
It's got to be Shepherd Motors. As I said before, they support me all through my race career. So, yeah, big shout out to Shepherd Motors.
Absolutely. I'm hoping. Well, I'm sure they're happy with your results tonight. And, well, hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Yes, cheers.
So, Andrew, that was Adam Shepard. Won a race tonight, finished second on the final race of the session. And, well, second in the place so far, just trailing one guy, that's Tom McMahon.
It was Rob Baker, actually. I guess in the standings. You
on
could
the
say.
championship,
yeah.
yeah.
I got you. Okay, makes a lot more sense. Look, man, we're challenged today. That's yeah. We do have somebody who was challenged a couple of weeks ago. In fact, remember how Roger Morton raced through COVID symptoms a couple of weeks ago? Raced through COVID. Was it last week at Knock Hill or was it the week prior? At Daytona?
I think it was both. No.
Well, anyways, we have Roger Morton alongside, and Roger, I think you won every single race in amateur class today. How do you do that?
I did tell you I was chasing for the AM championship win. It's to be fair, I come in with no practice, but I knew Snetterton reasonably well from before. A bit slow off it first race, to be fair, but I defended well to try and keep Craig behind me and just kept on going, really. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, good.
So with just a few rounds left, obviously you are trailing Craig for this championship. How do you keep eking away at that gap? How do you keep trying to chip away at it and hopefully bring the fight to the 982?
I can't do any more than finish every race and try and get in front of him. Basically what I did tonight, I had a lot of fast cars coming past me and I did not fight him at all because I knew for a fact my fight is with Craig and not with the other guys. My goal is for the Am Champs.
Fair
I will
enough.
get the Am Champs.
Fair enough. Now, let's rewind a couple of weeks. Which week was it that you were? Which weeks was it that you were going through a little bit of COVID?
COVID's about it was Daytona week.
Okay, that's what I thought. Daytona. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have kept it to yourself instead of giving it to me for Snetterton.
Yeah, well, I like sharing, scaring. How are you doing with it?
Well, I got through 4 races. We're here. We're hanging on. We are hanging on by a thread. It's a good thing I don't have any weekend broadcasts, tell you that. But,
Good.
hey, anyways, this championship battle is going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to see this 992 in the middle of it, and we see some partners on the side of that car that we haven't heard much about yet this season. Tell us about them.
So Safeguard, the team is part of a product under Result Clothing. Result Clothing, they do clothing. I sort of come into the team when I first joined, literally a couple of weeks after I first joined iRacing. I've been with them. They're really good. The products that they do are good quality clothing. So if anybody wants any clothing, Result Clothing, look her up on the old Google. You'll find them. They're there. They do customized stuff as well. So they're a good company. And the team themselves, the 2 main ones are Carl Hardy, my teammate, and David Ayres, which he trialled it last week. They're the 2 the boys that run the team, and they're quite high up in Result Clothing themselves. And they're spot on, absolutely spot on. I can't ask for anything better as a team, really. They've helped me out everything from starting on iRacing. They got me through. And yeah, definitely.
So there you go. A whole bunch of info about Result Clothing and everything they have to offer. I did just check out the website briefly, resultclothing.com. There is a whole lot going on there. I'll have to look into it myself, properly look into it later. But Roger, thanks for your time. Congratulations on a pretty good day of racing, and we'll hopefully see you next week at Silverstone.
Yeah, mate, and good luck with your recovery of COVID, mate.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes in the next couple of days. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
And that's Roger Morton. I got a few wins today. In fact, 4 of them over Craig Schill, who is up next.
So, Craig, we talked to you at the end of race number 3, hoping we were going to talk to you at the end of race number 4 as the overall winner. Did not really go your way, did it?
No. I think I might have fell asleep at the wheel. It was a little bit of a disaster, really. It was that nudge from Nathan that was it. Once I got the tap on the rear end, it had gone. I just couldn't put myself back.
And obviously, when we looked back on that contact, did you just not expect him on the inside of Hamilton?
I knew he was somewhere because Lee Holmes had gone through, and I've noticed that they tend to follow each other through. But I didn't get any spotter call until the very last minute, and I was already on the brakes turning into the corner and just felt the nudge, and that was it. It was gone, and then I couldn't rejoin safely until all the rest of the pack had gone through.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. We are kind of expecting a nice little battle to maybe, to have you dethrone Roger Morton from getting each and every single win on the amateur class tonight, but unfortunately, obviously, today went his way. When we look towards next week, how do you feel about Silverstone National?
I love it. I love Silverstone. It's a great little circuit. The national circuit's it can be very quick, and in places it can be a little bit technical. The left fields, there's about 3 different lines you can take through it to get a good run out of the corner. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy that one, I think, and hopefully I'm going to finish ahead of Roger.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to keep our eye out for you now that you mentioned that. Adam Shepard is not really looking forward to it, but, well, it's glad to have someone that is. And, well, the battle between you and Roger, it's definitely something to keep an eye out for the racetrack. And, well, that being it, I guess I'm going to give you the stage for you to thank the sponsors of your team, for your results tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to thank the 88 Tech guys every race I've got all 4 drivers there in my ear, or 3 drivers in my ear, keeping it. We basically work as a team. Lee, and I'll thank my family and anyone else that knows me that's watching.
Well, there you go. I'm pretty sure they're happy with the results. Obviously, race number 4 did not go your way, but you're still leading the amateur class, and that has to feel good, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm a little bit in. I've never been in this position before since I started iRacing, so I've kind of got the bit between my teeth. So I think I need to get a little bit more aggressive within reason.
That'll definitely be interesting to watch, essentially, and we'll keep an eye out for it on Silverstone. But with that being said, Craig, I'm going to let you focus, and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, Andrew, that was Craig Schill. Unfortunately, I guess you could say the round of tonight, all 4 rounds did not go his way, but still leading the championship. That's something you definitely need to be happy about.
Definitely. I think he's got a lot to build on in further rounds, and he already has. I mean, he's been fantastic this season, especially for an amateur driver. Has got a win in the Miatas on Tuesdays, so really good stuff out of him this season, along with other drivers. Upcoming broadcasts on Pit Stop TV, we've talked a bit about them already, and this is a look here at what we can expect next week, as we actually have a clear weekend this weekend to work through and, well, for me to recover. Monday evening, it's the BRP iRacing series at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so that's kind of close by. I wish I could go there in real life. Wish I could go there and see it again. I've worked on races. I've broadcasted races from there before, and it is a properly good racing venue. It's just a good place to go have a dirt race. We'll have, of course, Trophy Tuesday coverage for the BSR guys once again from Silverstone National. I'm looking forward to it. You know, Silverstone in its Grand Prix layout, I think, is only really good, in my opinion anyways. It's downforce cars, and Formula 1, I think, is fantastic there, but it gets a little more challenging with, for example, GT3 cars, which we've had there a couple of times. I think to bring Mazda Miatas in touring cars to the shorter national layout is going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to it, JP, and hopefully everybody else is as well.
I absolutely share your thoughts, and I guess that's a popular opinion amongst the community as well, but I'm sure these guys have put on, a lot of thought into the schedule, and I'm pretty sure this Silverstone National is going to be the perfect circuit. But obviously, to watch that race and to keep yourself updated in all the news that we have for each and every single series, you need to follow us on social media, on facebook.com/pitstoptv, on twitter.com/pitstoptv_, on instagram.com/pit_stop_tv, and on youtube.com/pitstoptv1.
Well, we certainly have appreciated you guys watching along today, and we certainly appreciate the ongoing support with this series. I know for you guys here with the British Sim Racers, you guys always had kind of British commentators. You've always had a British broadcast, so I know that's probably a big culture shock to have somebody out of the South, the United States, and to have somebody from Brazil kind of call these races and call this season with you guys. But hopefully it's been worth it. Hopefully it's been enjoyable to have us along for the ride. It's certainly been a lot of fun broadcasting this series for you guys, and I'm very much looking forward to the final 3 weeks of this season. I can't believe, JP, we're already looking at the final 3 weeks of the season. Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and Bathurst, and that's it.
That's insane. It felt like yesterday we were at Donington Park starting off the season and being in absolutely awe of the racing that we got. And, well, look at us, already 6 rounds in, 6 weeks in. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, certainly. It goes by in a flash when you're having these good kinds of race weekends. And, yeah, it's been really, really good stuff with the BSR guys. And very much appreciate all of the effort so far. And I think for any potential partners out there, any potential sponsors of this series, this is certainly a good series to get behind. The fantastic racing week in, week out, the personalities, and I think the drama, the good kind of drama that emerges from within this series is always really good and really fun to watch, and I think good to be a part of. So this, if I was out there and a potential race sponsor or a series sponsor, I would look at the British Sim Racers as one of my potential partners for the upcoming year. It's been a lot of fun today. JP, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody else with Pit Stop TV as per usual. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV, JP Costa along with me today, and all of our great staff and partners here at Pit Stop TV. Of course, Tucson Sound Art, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, excuse me, Whiplash Media and Whiplash Media Simcams and BAM Racing videos. It's been a treat, as always, and we certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope to see you again on Monday. Again, it's the BRP iRacing Series season finale from Charlotte. Make sure you're there. We'll see you then.